I am Cynthia Bailey.
I'm Crystal Minkoff. This is Humble Brag.
Can't wait for you guys to find out how we actually came together.
We live a life that we think it's normal. And then when you actually say it out loud, it's kind of ridiculous.
You and your 14 friends
That's
who
right.
I think you were with. What is wrong with her? Like, who does that?
I probably would have said no had I known how much we got paid.
Once a housewife, always a housewife.
I am going to kill them with kindness.
My only superpower is that I'm not a threat ever.
I didn't drink the first 2 seasons.
Are you insane?
I don't think it's a wonder why we ended up here.
I will always say long story short, but I can never tell a story short.
People would call me the Cynthia of Beverly Hills.
You're welcome. I started the Cynthia Bailey movement.
I want to know your origin story about Housekeeping.
We have so much tea coming up on the next one.
Humble Brag Pod.
Humble brag.
Humble Brag.
Humble brag.
Braggy, humbly.
You can check out Crystal and Cynthia's new show, Humble Brag, every Monday. It's dropping the 21st of October this Monday, so you'll be sure to check it out. So go right now and subscribe to their show. It's going to be wacky, wild, and fun. I cannot wait for y'all to listen to it.
You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I am your host, Nick, joined by the household, and today is Greek God Day. Is that what it is?
Gods, goddesses.
Gods, goddesses. You look great. We've all decided.
we all
Justin
look
is
good.
the organizer of these costumes.
Yeah, and he always looks the best. Like,
well, to his credit, he actually
coincidentally.
is putting an effort, and we are making. Justin is the one getting our costumes together.
I've committed
so.
to the bit. I'm like,
He
someone
has.
has to be committed.
Yeah,
We
he's like,
can't-
let me get their costumes, and I'm gonna like get them some like, they're gonna look.
I thought he did a good
stupid.
job.
If Nick gave me $1,000, you guys would be slaying Boots' house down. Like, you would walk in with prosthetics.
How much
wigs.
is he giving you?
I don't even
Like
know.
$3?
He just said be reasonable.
Justin, did you own these wings before or after you decided this costume?
I bought it for this costume, but I was like, you'll be able to use wings anytime. So I was like, reuse.
And you know what? You deserve it for
Thank
putting
you.
these all together. And as his costume should be the best. He did organize all this.
That's true. That's true.
I think you guys look good.
What, Sierra? What are you?
I'm a dark god.
Yes,
Persephone.
of course. Yes.
Hades.
Persephone.
Ooh,
Hecate,
Persephone.
Whoever you want me to be. I'm just Mary. Who are you?
I'm Poseidon on a casual Friday.
She's wearing a Hawaiian shirt for people listening.
Yeah. You know, I'm in Percy Jackson logic.
He's on vacation.
He's on vacation.
You're Tom Schwartz.
Greek gods chill
Yeah.
too, you know? You know.
I am kind of. Why do I kind of look like Tom Schwartz?
Are you
Darkest
going
day
as
of my
Tom
life.
Schwartz?
Yes, Tom Schwartz with his god complex.
Literally.
Oh. Gross.
Aren't we saying that Tom Schwartz kind of looks like a 25-year-old woman? How old are you?
I'm 23.
No, we're saying that he loves Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
He does?
I feel like he's constantly in a Hawaiian shirt. No.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We're saying that Tom Schwartz kind of looks like a young gay.
Oh.
It is canon. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
Blonde,
Yeah.
Okay.
bleach blonde,
Bad built.
butch body.
Oh my god.
That's
Crickets.
for anyone who gets reference.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We have a very exciting episode for you. We have Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Minkoff in studio to talk about their new podcast, Humble Brag, part of the NV Media Network. We're super excited to have those ladies here today as well. The one and only Charles, Mr. Golden Bachelor himself, is with us, calling in from China. This man left the United States for vacation, went to go visit some friends and family back where he's from in China, and took his time to Zoom in with us, the gracious man that he is. And we ask him a very important question, if he's interested and willing to be the next Bachelor, Golden Bachelor that is. And his answer will surprise you. Plus, we get to know him.
What did he say?
Oh, you'll have to listen, dear.
I don't have the time.
Oh, some of us woke up super early to interview Charles.
It was a perfect wake up call, though.
It
Yeah.
was. I mean,
Aw.
you knew you were getting up for Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin and Sierra and I, we did that for him.
It's a little bit of optimism first thing in the
Yeah,
morning.
it was a
Good vibes.
no coffee, just Charles.
Seriously.
Oh, another C.
Plus, we will be getting into Golden Bachelorette along with some Real Housewives of NYC. Before we do, just a reminder, the Going Deeper episode with Gypsy Rose and her partner, father of her child, they are expecting, and they get into everything about their relationship, everything that's been going on and their crazy life ever since we interviewed them back in January. People, I'm surprised with of course I'm not surprised that obviously there's some of you, I don't know if it's people who are actually listening, don't appreciate us having Gypsy Rose on because of her past, to which we reply, we don't care.
We love
What
and
a weird
appreciate
thing.
you.
What a weird thing to hate. Like, what a weird thing to be like, oh my God, how dare you? It's like,
What a weird thing to have such a strong opinion on about something you couldn't possibly place yourself.
Or about
in
something that like we're holding, like they're acting like we're holding a gun to their head and being like, you have to listen to this 2-hour episode. It's like you could just like not listen to it if you don't want to hear her.
There's that.
Right?
Or
Or
we could be more
we
open-minded
could change
and
your
empathetic.
opinion. We could be more empathetic and
About-
compassionate. That
yeah.
is what this world is lacking.
Yeah. Or we could stop being surprised about the internet.
That is true.
For all you reasonable people out there, it is a fantastic episode, and you should check it out. Thank you for participating and having an opinion on whatever we do, good or bad. We just love that you care.
Totally.
What are we getting into before we get to our favorite shows?
Should we kick it off with Vibe football?
Oh, yes. It is now time for Vibes versus Stats. Mary, what are our great matchups of the week? First of all, I just want to point out that Stats have taken the lead by 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congrats.
So it's your guys' time to fight back.
Are you jumping ship, Mary?
I'm
Or are
not
we
jumping
gonna
ship,
say-
but first we're covering the Lions and Vikings, and off the bat, I think that the Vibes team owes the Detroit Lions an apology.
Why?
What did we say about them?
You didn't pick them.
Oh.
Oh, are they supposed to?
This is me projecting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know who Murray is.
The people of Detroit, they've been through so much and are so dedicated to their team,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to put some respect on their name.
Okay.
Because any team that can decimate the Cowboys like that, it was like 29 to
49 to 3 or 7.
49 to 3 or 7
Something
or
like
something like that. It was incredible.
That is
Wow.
brutal.
That is, damn, it's brutal out here to be
All
a
while
Cowboy.
losing their best player to a season-ending injury.
Yes, defensive end Aiden Hutchinson suffered an injury in last week's game, breaking his tibia and fibula in the third quarter.
Snapped his leg in half.
Yeah,
Yikes.
his surgery was successful, but he
Yay.
will be out for the season.
Aw.
But there's some drama there because many are predicting a possible trade.
Max Crosby from the Raiders.
Maybe. People are also saying Hassan
Hassan
Reddick.
Reddick.
Yeah, from the
Jets.
Eagles.
Well, he was on the Eagles.
Eagles, then Jets, but has never played or practiced with them. What's the Jets? Weird.
Interesting.
Yikesies.
The Jets vibes are
Bad.
not
In the
great.
trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did trade for Devontae Adams and reuniting
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Are we talking about the Jets right now?
So nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I
Well,
was like, wait.
basically, like with the whole trade of it all, the deadline's November 5th, and this is like if halfway through the season of Salt Lake City, Lisa Barlow broke her tibia and fibula, and then Andy sent in Dorinda Medley.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it doesn't make sense.
Don't love.
Or maybe not Dorinda, but like anyone.
Mid-season trades are hard for Kem.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Imagine if you could like trade housewives.
Ooh.
That could be so fun.
Right?
Ultimate girls trip.
Immediately, we're taking Heather from OC. I don't know what we're replacing her with, but
Ooh.
I think we send her to New York.
we
You
could-
know?
you know what? New
Her
York,
and Jenna Lyons,
Wait.
I
New York-
feel like.
that could be good.
I did think Heather Dubrow and what's the problematic? Oh my god, I can't think of her name. From New York.
Minkoff?
No.
Sai?
The one that's canceling everybody. Bravo Reckoning.
Bryn,
Bethany?
Bethany.
Good lord.
For a while, I thought.
why don't you say
I was-
OG?
I will say for a while, I thought
Legacy.
Bethany and Heather Dubrow were the same person. They're both.
Who's that more offensive to?
They look the same. I don't think
Heather.
it's offensive.
Heather.
100%.
I don't think
yeah.
it's a bad thing. I just for a while I thought they were the same person. So checks out.
Interesting.
Okay, so Vikings? Anything cool about them?
The Vikings, well,
Parent Trap Dance.
Parent Trap Dance. Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus recreated the Parent Trap handshake. It was very cute. They also posted a little TikTok of them practicing the choreo.
Aw.
Love.
We messed up last time, right? Because we didn't choose the Vikings and they ended up doing the handshake and we missed
Yeah.
the vibes.
'Cause the
Well, we
Vikings-
didn't know
Well-
that they were practicing
know.
such an
Right.
iconic celebratory dance.
Yeah.
If we would have known, we would have obviously chosen them. So I feel like, and like, do we think they're gonna do that again on this
the
game, or do we think
Vikings
they've come up
are-
with something else?
Vikings and the Chiefs are the only 2 undefeated teams so far,
Yeah.
but the Lions have only lost once.
But they've also lost their star player, so.
That's true.
Well, I will say, Jared Goff, the Lions quarterback, is engaged to Christian Harper,
yes.
who is a model and actress. Sports Illustrated.
Thank
Slay.
you.
So she's
Mhm.
carrying the
Slay.
team.
She is carrying the
carrying.
team.
Okay, got
We
it.
got some models on the side
Okay.
of Detroit. Models versus Parent Trap.
But they also like lost. I mean, how much work does Aiden Hutchinson do?
Not now.
No, obviously.
Before he was the pass rusher, you could argue he was the second most important person other than the quarterback on the team.
See,
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna have to go Vikings with this.
Vikings.
You know,
Wait,
All
the
right.
Lions,
Wow.
they won last time? Lions?
Lions killed.
I
they
don't
killed
know.
last time, but they're
But the
playing
Vikings are also
who
very
haven't
good.
lost.
Yeah. I don't know.
2 winners.
And they just lost their star player, who typically would like be helping them, but no, now he's out with an injury.
Wow.
So
So they're going to be learning right now. So yeah, we have to do Vikings.
we have to do Vikings.
Got it.
Vikings?
They're
Yeah.
readjusting.
Okay, what about you, Nick?
I'm going to go Lions.
Lions? All right,
Good
game
luck.
2. Chiefs versus 49ers. This is insane
This is a
because
matchup.
Super Bowl revenge.
Super Bowl
Moment.
matchup. Rematch.
Wow.
Rematch. Who will win? Chiefs won the last time. But the thing is, this is really a war of the wags.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have, it's battle for the cutest couple, right? We have Taylor and Travis for the Chiefs.
Obviously.
And then they went to a Yankees game. That's their big update right now. And then George and Claire Kittle and Kristen and Kyle Juszczyk.
And Sydney Warner and Fred Warner. Hello, Sydney, friend
Yes.
of
Of Bachelor
life,
royalty.
Of Bachelor
Mhm.
royalty.
Friend of life. Okay.
Friend of
Yeah.
life. Sorry. We had a baby at the same time. I know.
George and Kyle's wives, Claire and Kristen, went kind of viral because George and Kyle ran up to them and hugged them during a game,
Yeah,
which is
that's love.
adorable. That's love. That's she's cheer captain and I'm in the bleachers.
That is.
So, you know.
Ugh, what are we thinking?
I'm leaning towards 49ers.
I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards 49ers as well.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm so sorry. I feel like Travis has been a little off his game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Patrick is gonna get a little like nerve in front of like, where is this? Is this a home game or?
Where is it being played?
This is being played in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I
the
feel like
wives
he's-
will be wifing.
the wives
wives
will
will
be
be
wifing.
wifing.
I feel like he might get a little cold feet.
Home territory.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he
The
doesn't
fog
have great
might-
circulation. To
They could
his
be due
feet,
for a
maybe.
loss.
Yeah.
They could be due for a loss. Have they been like on a winning streak recently?
Chiefs or the-
yeah, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs haven't lost yet, and the Niners have started slower than expected.
Mm-hmm.
The first week never matters.
That's-
Well, we're
there
in
you
week
go.
7.
You know
We
that.
are. We are
Oh.
seven.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think. Niners.
I feel like we're gonna go Niners.
Yeah.
right?
Niners?
Like
All
we're on
right.
Team Wax.
And remember, Sourdough Sam.
Sourdough Sam.
Forget?
Oh,
Don't
that's
forget
true.
Sourdough
Boudin.
Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is he Pop Your Pussy Pink or no? Or was that someone else?
No, that was someone
Oh.
else. Sourdough Sam was the minor, not physically, but in, like, you know, like,
mi-
boop, boop,
That's
boop,
right,
looking
that's
for
Oh,
right.
the
gold.
minor.
He is of
yeah.
legal age.
He is
Okay.
of legal age looking
Him or
for
her?
gold.
They.
I
We
mean,
know.
I feel like all mascots, they.
They.
Bread is gender neutral. But
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sourdough
Yeah,
Sam.
bread is gender neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Who are you going, Nick?
Very good. I'm gonna go Chiefs. Just.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
Got a real
let's make
toss-up.
it fun.
No, yeah, you really want to lose this round. Okay. Period.
Really, the winner of this game, though, depends on who Sabrina Carpenter wears on whose jersey she wears. Because have you guys heard about the Sabrina Carpenter curse?
No.
Absolutely not.
So basically, there's a conspiracy theory going around online that as Sabrina Carpenter has been touring, when she goes to cities, she will wear the local sports team's jerseys.
And they lose.
They lose.
every time.
Recently, yeah,
Whoa.
she's won the Toronto Maple Leafs, Philadelphia Phillies, and Dallas Cowboys.
Where's
So-
her next show?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's in San Francisco.
Good
It's
question.
in the Bay.
Literally.
Nashville's next.
Oh,
Nashville is
no, Nashville
tonight.
can't take it.
Oh God, take it
Leave
easy.
Will Levis alone.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
not doing very well.
hate to break it.
Okay, well, we're excited
Okay.
for this
All
weekend.
right, well, that
All
does
right.
it for vibes versus stats. Good luck, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
loser.
Mm-hmm.
In the benefit of a wife being a model, Victoria's Secret fashion show is back, and I'm excited.
Period.
It was
How was it? We didn't
everything.
watch. We went on.
I didn't watch
date.
either, but I saw many
Really?
clips.
We
Like,
were
the
on a
internet
date.
loves it,
Yeah, we on a date.
We went on a date.
as you should.
As you should, but still.
So we missed.
Iconic.
How
It started at
was?
like 3.
I'm glad.
It's back.
I'm glad it's back.
Me too.
You know,
The teenage me was screaming on the inside, so excited because it's been years.
Do we feel like their runway was a little more low budget than it used to be?
The
'Cause it felt like
production value, yes, and there was also not the same like how they used to do like a pink segment, and it would be like all of these like really fun wings. It was very dictated towards the
Different.
models
Yeah.
versus like a theme.
But I like that because I like that they rebranded and came back with like the more inclusive approach. Like, so for me, Alex Consani, who's a trans model, like
Mhm.
seeing her on there, she would never be there.
Ashley Graham.
The original
Did you see,
version.
she was interviewed by someone, I don't know who it was, and they were like, what did you have for breakfast? And she goes, dick.
Yep. She's iconic. I'm sorry, Alex Consani. No, but I think like, and Sarah was saying she watched it. It's like there was different people with different skin tones, people with different hair types, like different body sizes.
I
like,
saw tiny waist, thick thighs. I saw, model skinny. I saw it just like natural hair, like just like everything that like I want to see where it's not this like cookie cutter idea of what somebody's supposed to look like, but like the wide range of what people appreciate in beauty in different races, different types of body types, everything. I think they did an amazing job. Everybody looked phenomenal. The performances were phenomenal. The outfits were great. And again, it just makes me more excited for what they're going to be able to do next year now that people are excited about it again.
I think it's good they got rid of the CEO that was problematic,
Yep.
that didn't want representation. And now we have the representation that's not problematic.
We love to see it. I think it's interesting that Kate Moss and her daughter were like praised for walking the runway together, and then Heidi Klum and her daughter Lenny were like shamed for doing essentially the same thing, but just one's a photo shoot, one's a runway show.
Exactly.
No, it's so weird.
Right? Like,
Yeah. So Heidi and her daughter were posing in lingerie for a lingerie shoot, but they're just standing there essentially.
They're literally just standing there.
Yeah.
That's not suggestive to anything
No,
at
not at
all.
all.
And I think it's weird that people want to make things weird that are clearly not weird. They're both models. They both have amazing bodies. This is how great you can look in their lingerie at 50, and this is how great you could look in their lingerie at 20.
Yeah, some of the comments are, this is kind of weird. Quite strange to do this with your mom. Yeah, nothing like half naked with your mom.
I think these people making comments are watching weird porn
Yeah,
and
like what
projecting.
What if I took a photo with my mom on a beach on a vacation? Is that not allowed? Is
Right.
We're
They're
still
literally the
half
same
naked.
thing.
it's the same thing.
Well, and I guess the question is lingerie like inherently sexual?
Well,
Well, bathing
Sure,
suits
but
these
that's what they're
days
saying.
are like more
More
revealing than
skimpy,
this.
yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
models and their profession is to
Yeah.
promote clothing,
I agree.
underwear, swimsuits, whatever it is, and you don't have to necessarily sexualize the lingerie in a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, a mother and daughter can wear and promote underwear. And like they are just standing next to each other. They're doing their job. Anyways, Tamra Judge back in the news. She recently went on her show and said that she had talked to a therapist that she's known for a while and is stating that she is on the spectrum and receiving a lot of criticism
Yeah.
for said comments.
She said, I just thought that things were black and white to me. I grew up with a family that didn't have a lot of empathy or love or whatever. So that just transpired onto my adult life. But after talking and going through everything and my emotions, and I have a hard time with empathy and feeling other people's feelings. There's a reason why.
I think for me, I just hope that she gets understanding and like whatever help she needs, but also regardless if she has it or doesn't, whatever degree that may be, like I just hope this potential diagnosis doesn't get conflated with like the drama of a storyline.
Do we feel like Jen Affleck and her husband staged their little bit where her daughter is saying mama and he is like so absolutely pissed off and cannot believe it? And
If it were any other couple, I would be like, oh, that means nothing.
Yeah.
But with these two, I'm like, no, Zach is pissed.
Well, we have also seen them do bits, right? And this
Mhm.
doesn't read as a bit. This reads like they were just recording themselves day in the life, And there's a very so we know what their bits look like, and this didn't read like a bit.
it broke my heart. It was so sad.
Mm-hmm.
She was so happy that her daughter said mama, and he was like, no, she didn't. Say dada, say dada.
Yeah.
It's like,
Couldn't wait to
It
take
just-
that moment away from her.
I think they're a perfect example of couples who compete, And I think
Mhm.
that's I've said this. Natalie and I talked about this yesterday when we were talking about the story. Like Natalie's the first relationship I've had where I feel like we don't compete on a regular basis. And I don't mean like,
important.
we're getting, like Monopoly board out and competing that way. But like, I think a lot of couples compete, like, who's going to say mama or dada first? Like,
Yeah.
you see a lot of couples doing that,
Well, this is something so
weirdly-
lighthearted that they turned into like a competition.
Yeah.
Or Zach did.
Well, Zach
something
did.
that should have just been like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Like, LOL.
was like made it sad for Jen.
But this moment, you could, I think, accurately assume. You know what happens when you assume, but I think you could assume with a high degree of accuracy that like a couple who competes this often is often disconnected.
Yeah.
Not connect. You
I
know,
would
they're
assume
not on
too,
the
yeah.
same page. They're not rooting for each other. They're not each other's cheerleaders. They're not supportive of each other. In fact, they're the opposite of all those things. They're in constant competition. They're always putting each other down. They're always nitpicking, things like that, which is sadly very common in relationships, and it seems very common in this relationship. She is teasing. That's
I was
crazy.
gonna say she's teasing it.
She's teasing whether they are together or not together. I mean, again,
It's
it goes
so
to show.
frustrating.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
Ugh,
These
I'm
women are
annoyed.
these women are true professional reality TV stars.
They're getting that second season, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're committed to the bit.
because you have Macy who's posting a TikTok where her and Michaela are holding Jen's hand up and she has a ring on her finger. And then you have Michaela posting a video insinuating that Jen and Zach are not together.
Well, and then you need context of the week before where Jen was posting. So she's like in New York one day, ring on. Then she's in some like Utah apartment that's different from the house they shared, hands covered. And then you have Demi commenting like, "Love the new you." Who's the new you?
Listen, how many different?
Yeah.
We have Taylor and Dakota. Are they not together? That's a storyline. Jen
not.
and what's his name? Zach. Are they together?
It's a messy season because also Camila and Miranda are
Is
allegedly joining. The
Whitney's
filming.
still an asshole. You know,
Is Whitney going to be on the show?
She's
Because they're
returning.
also.
They already said everybody's returning.
Oh, well, because they're also
They have new people
posting
coming in?
videos.
Well, so Camila and Miranda, which were like the alleged friends of Mom Talk with Taylor, they were at filming events. So you could assume that they're part of
coming
the
in as
cast.
friends, maybe,
or something.
Yeah.
Friend of.
Which
do
would make
you think
sense
they saw
for-
the success of season one and said they want to bite off of that apple?
I would
Sure.
assume that maybe Taylor, like, she was taking the flack of all this drama, so they were kind of like, let's see how the media takes her, and then if she survives, like, we'll join.
Yeah, I think you're
Okay.
right about that.
Yeah.
You know who's not together? Kat Stickler and Jason Tartick have broken up.
Oh,
Oh.
She posted a video from bed saying that they are no longer together.
I was an interesting breakup video.
And the world shakes.
But again, I will give her credit on the fact of the matter is that nothing pisses me off when people broadcast their relationship all over social media and then they break up and they delete photos and they're like, everybody pretend like that didn't happen. Like,
Yeah.
no, acknowledge it.
Yeah,
Thank
what are
you.
your thoughts on deleting photos after a breakup?
And also, would you rather have, like, let me just record it real fast in bed, or do you want, like, let me set up the whole camera situation, let's have us sit here, let's,
I mean,
like,
she
have
did
cuts.
she did the thing where like I just woke up and I just need to address you all, but clearly
She didn't, right?
She didn't.
We could assume. Yeah.
It was kind of funny, her breakup video from
As she
bed.
should, though. Casual flex.
Yeah.
You could tell she's the one who ended the relationship. That's for sure.
Well,
How can you tell?
Because she posted the
Because
video.
Jason posted a like, sorry, we're broken up, and she was like posted a a
Glam.
glam from
Mhm.
bed, fixed her hair, seemed to be in pretty high spirits. It definitely gave. I didn't want to do this anymore. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I mean, I feel like I could give two shits if people delete photos off
Me
their
too.
own personal Instagram.
I'm like,
It's
okay,
like,
next.
I don't care, girl.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion on that. You know,
Honestly, their videos were a little too performative for me. So
the consequences are almost built in. You know, if you're a couple that enters into a relationship and very quickly shows that relationship online, and if you end up breaking up shortly thereafter, it's like the fact that you put it out there so soon, the consequences will be the people's response to you breaking up.
So
Like,
when's the earliest you should post the relationship?
I mean,
Because they
if-
were 6 months in.
I don't know. They did what they wanted to do. I don't really care.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it does.
It's a peril of
they,
doing
al-
it
but
early.
they also like when they came out swinging, and
Yeah.
it was like nonstop like bit videos,
Every
trending
TikTok
sounds. They were like on top of the trends, which
As they
they
should.
probably got some that pop off. They whatever.
They certainly opened themselves up for the
Yeah.
criticisms of being potentially disingenuous with their relationship. Yeah.
I don't know. She also did post, I guess she was getting some shit for, introducing Jason to her daughter.
Why?
I think just people are sensitive to like moms
Timelines.
bringing like men in and out of children's lives. And
We
she
don't know the
kind of addressed that
context.
as saying like she was introduced to Jason as my friend, as she is to like all of my guy friends and all
Yeah.
of my girlfriends' husbands. Like it was no different than
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
a good
think that
point.
that's up to the mom. I really feel like people shouldn't get involved in those kind of decisions because it's like, and I see this all over the place now that my algorithm is all about moms. And I read the comments sometimes and people are just so harsh and critical of how mom's mom. And I'm just like, it really should, yeah, if you're harming your kid on camera,
Obviously.
yes.
But everything else?
But
You don't know
everything
the
else,
context?
you don't know the
Yeah.
context. You don't know what's happening like outside of this rectangle that you're looking at it through.
But anyways, we wish them both the best. I hope Jason finds like someone not in the public eye next. That's just my wish for him. It's just one man's opinion.
Lana
He-
Del Rey could do it. You could do it
He
too.
can tell me to go fuck myself. But yeah, maybe someone not, online. All right. Well, before we get to talking about RHONY and Golden Bachelor, we have a couple of queens about to join this episode. Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Minkoff, the hosts of our new show, Humble Brag. We announced it yesterday. We're very excited to have Crystal and Cynthia join the MV Media family, and they are with us to talk a little bit about their new show and their lives, and we are really excited to share it with you. They are up next. Quince is the perfect place to get high-quality essentials at an affordable price. They offer timeless, high-quality items that we adore, ensuring that our wardrobes stay fresh and we don't blow our budgets. If you are tired of shopping at the same places that kind of all look the same with the same flannels and the same tops and all those basic things, you got to check out Quince. They have an assortment that is amazing. Some really unique pieces. We've talked about the Mongolian cashmere sweater that's only $60. They also have a ton of great staple pieces like t-shirts, amazing pants like their organic cotton stretch chino, incredibly comfortable, perfect for all the men in your life. Whoever you are, you got to check out Quince when it comes to upgrading your closet today. Their prices are unbelievable and their pieces are even better. What a great selection. We absolutely love them at our household and the extended household as well. But certainly Natalie and I are huge fans. What's also great about Quince is that Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices along with premium fabrics and finishes. And they partner directly with the manufacturers to cut out the middleman, passing the savings on to you. That means Quince's items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Prices are unbelievable. So you can update your look without breaking the bank. Their organic cotton stretch chinos are a really great pant that pairs nicely with literally anything. Upgrade your wardrobe with pieces made to last with Quince. Go to quince.com/VIALL for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/VIALL to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/VIALL. Helix Sleep. Wish I was in my Helix mattress right now. I'll tell you that right now because I am sleepy. But whenever I get done with work, I am so excited to lay my heavy head on my Helix mattress because it is the most comfortable mattress ever made. Truly, it's the greatest invention right next to electricity. I actually would put it right before electricity because I don't need light when I'm sleeping. Helix mattresses are amazing. They have a mattress for everyone. We, Natalie and I, sleep on the Moonlight mattress. But that may not be the one for you. I don't know how you sleep. I don't know. Do you sleep hot? Do you sleep cold? Do you sleep on your side? Do you sleep on your stomach? Do you sleep standing up? Do you sleep on your head? I don't know. But the good thing is, Helix has 20 unique mattresses for any kind of sleeper. All you got to do is take a quick quiz. You just go to helixsleep.com, answer a couple basic questions about your preferences on how you sleep, how you want to feel when you sleep, and Helix will select one of their 20 unique, amazing mattresses for you so that you can get the best sleep of your life. They have the award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. Plus, they have mattresses for even those kiddos. That's right. The little ones need to sleep too, and Helix has amazing mattresses for them as well. They also give you a 100-night sleep trial, so you can sleep on it for 100 nights. Try it out. It'll be awesome. And if you don't want it, you can send it back. They also have a 10 to 15-year warranty on all their mattresses, depending on the mattress that you get. If that's not good enough for you, well, just know that they were awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wire magazine, also recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and sleep doctors as the go-to solution for improving your sleep. So, if you are in the market for a new mattress, look no further than Helix. Just go to helixsleep.com. Again, answer a couple of those questions, and in a few days, you will be sleeping on the best mattress ever invented. Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders. Go to helixsleep.com/VIALL. That is helixsleep.com/VIALL. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Crystal, welcome back.
Thank
To
you.
the Viall Files. Cynthia, welcome to the Viall Files.
Thank you.
I mean, obviously, very excited to have you ladies. The cat's out of the bag. I know we've kind of already announced it, but like, Humble Brag is premiering on Envy Media's network.
Yes.
Cynthia and Crystal are co-hosting their new show, our new show,
Our new
show.
Yes.
I'm very excited to have these ladies be part of the team. Congratulations
Thank
for being part of our
you.
family. Okay.
Thank you.
Are you guys excited as much as I'm excited?
We're so excited.
Like seriously, it hasn't hit me yet though. Like I keep like it's only been like a couple of days, and I'm like, shit, we have a podcast.
Crystal and I have been talking about doing this show for
Yes.
about a year now.
We've been mulling over this for a long, long time.
And then she was like, I want to do it with Cynthia Bailey. I'm like, what? Really?
You're like, who's that?
No, I was. Oh no,
Oh,
Cynthia.
we
I knew exactly who you were, and I was very excited about
Yes.
that.
Well, I was very honored to be chosen because Crystal knows a lot of people that I'm realizing
Yeah, she
more and
does.
more as we like get to know each other. I'm like, she literally knows like everyone. So to be chosen,
You
by
are the
Crystal,
chosen one.
I am the chosen
The
one.
sea parted,
Yes.
and I saw your face,
Yeah.
and I said, "This is the one." We met a couple years ago at a mutual friend. We went to an event, and it's one of my girlfriend's events. She happened to be there, and we both were already on our prospective shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was at least 3 years ago because I remember still being married. And
Yes.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're still a friend on Atlanta.
I am a official friend.
What's the difference? What's
There
the
is a difference. Okay, so I was on Real Housewives of Atlanta for 11 consistent years as a consistent
11.
That's
peach
amazing.
holder.
God damn.
And when it was done, when I decided to walk away, which was really like basically, they didn't really technically ask me to come back as a housewife, but I kind of knew it was kind of like the end of the road for me because I just didn't have anything else to say. But anyway, they kind of like threw the friend thing, but I just felt like, you know what? If we're going to break up, let's just break up. You can't break up with me and still get coochie. You know what I mean? So I had a clean
Exactly how I
break.
feel.
But well, sometimes you can break up with me, get Gucci, but not always. Depends on who's breaking up with
But
me.
only when you want it.
Only when I
That's
want
right.
to give up the coochie.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've had just such an amazing relationship with network and the girls and whatever. And I was like, okay, woo, this is good. Like I needed a break because I never took a break. And then I just kind of missed it, honestly. And of course, the fans, I love my housewife fans. And I was like, oh my God, why did you leave? When are you gonna come back? So anyway, I would just like, whenever I was in Atlanta, I would just pop in and play with the girls a little bit, unofficially. And
How
that
long?
was fun.
What's the span from when you left as a full time? I'm just curious.
I think the first year I just really like sat down and just, jumped right into my acting career and like
Okay.
went into acting classes, which is going very well, by the way. We'll get to that. But anyway, like then I was like, wait a minute, kind of miss the girls. And when I'm in Atlanta, like they would still invite me to stuff, but I'm like, but are they filming it? So it was like weird to go and be on camera and not be a part of the show. So I was like, well, we have to figure something out because I would want to go, but I was like, can I get paid to go? Because if I have to be mic'd, like it's just kind of weird for me to go and not like be paid at that point. So anyway, long story short, we figured something out and it was still unofficial. And then this year for Sweet 16, which ends up being more of a surprise 16 because a lot of crazy stuff happens this season. We,
Yes.
they came to me and said, hey, we would love for you to be a friend, but like in a more official way, which basically means I went on the trips and stuff, which is an unofficial friend. You don't get invited to the trips.
Mm.
And as an unofficial friend, you usually don't get to do confessionals, but they still let me do confessionals as a unofficial friend. But officially now I do the trips and the confessionals, and I shot a lot this season. So you'll see a lot of me.
Before we get more
Oh,
into Humble
Lord.
Brag, I have a question to you, especially around friends, official friends or unofficial friends when it
Okay.
comes to Bravo.
Okay. I
Alexis.
know I'm not going to like this question. Go ahead.
What? Why not?
I just can feel the energy of it. Just go ahead. Hit me.
You're in the loop more than I'm in the loop. You're friends with Tamra, right?
Well, I'm closer to Teddy. That's who I know. And I'm very cool with Tamra, obviously.
I've never met Tamra.
Okay. She's awesome.
I consider Teddy a friend.
Definitely.
Yeah. Teddy's been on the show.
I just
several
saw
times.
Teddy at the event the other night we were just talking
Oh,
about.
Yeah, I like Teddy.
Yeah,
Sierra
me
doesn't like
too.
Teddy.
Okay, well, yeah.
Just as a
What's the
friend.
question?
Let's call me out. I'm just over here minding my business, but
Oh
yeah.
my God.
From a fan standpoint,
this is
I know Teddy as a
Yes.
person. As a person, I love Teddy.
I'm a big Bravo fan, so
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
I know you guys, even though I
Anyways,
don't know you at all.
we have been watching OC like crazy,
Okay.
and you, as I'm sure you probably know, the main storyline: Shannon Bedore,
Yep.
her recovery, her healing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Healing journey.
And everyone, specifically Alexis, and are you familiar with what's going on?
Yes, I
Okay.
definitely have an idea. And I also saw Alexis and
John
John
at that event.
At the event as
And
well.
at that event, Alexis was doing the red carpet, like
Yeah,
asking why
I
people
bumped
don't
into her on the red
feel bad
carpet.
for her. And I'm like, well, I can tell you why people don't feel bad for you. But like, what am I missing as a viewer, as a fan of the show? I'm new to the show. I'm new to all these people. I understand that Shannon Bedore seems like she has been messy in times. And yes, maybe has overconsumed all these things. But my understanding of Bravo world is that it's all about the come up. Bravo wants to keep their people on the middle ground. If you're too high, they knock you off a peg.
Oh.
If you're too low,
What?
how do you?
not
How am I
know
explaining?
that?
What?
Wait,
What?
So if you're too high, they knock you down.
Yeah,
a
if you're-
peg?
Yes.
It's like if you're living life, if everything's going well,
Oh, they'd be like, "Oh,
Here's
you're
your
doing too
villain
good."
edit.
But can I tell you,
someone
I don't
comes for
mess
you.
up
But
your
I
life.
actually don't think that's isolated to Bravo. I think
Yeah.
that's
There's
life in
the one.
general.
It's
And I'll
kind of like
never
a reality
Yeah,
TV
because I
thing.
remember my first season, I was like just depressed all the time, crying all the time. Like, I don't know why do people feel this way about me.
That would be
And
a
I-
typical first season.
Yes. And then I
Like,
remember
what am I
walking
doing?
into the house, and Rob and my brother and a couple of their guy friends are watching a football game. And I walk in and I go, "Oh, who do you guys want to win?" It was college. And they said, "Da da da." I go, "Why?" They're like, "Oh, because I don't know, they're the underdog." And it was like, bing. I'm like, okay, that is just human.
Yeah.
People don't want to see the winners win. They want to see the losers win. And then once they build them up and they get that trophy, it's like
You have
chop
to
them down.
Chop them down.
Yeah,
right.
they don't like that. So I think that's like
It's exhausting to
inherently.
see people
I don't
just
think
keep
it's just
winning and
Bravo.
winning
Yeah.
and winning. You know what I mean?
It's
So-
not just Bravo, but I think specifically to the fans of Bravo and the network, I think for the fans who watch Housewives, like I think they all find you women obviously very interesting, but like all of Bravo fans like want to see your authenticity, right?
Yeah.
And,
True.
and I think the fans who watch the show, like all of you, are
Mhm.
imperfect people. And I think we see
1000%.
ourselves through the people we watch on these shows.
Right.
And I think when we watch someone go through it, hit rock bottom or fuck up in a way that they really need to like be held accountable
Yeah.
and apologize and go on
Mhm.
their healing journey. We want to see these people get through it and get to the other side because that gives us hope for ourselves, right? So when
Absolutely.
Shannon
Totally.
has a DUI and isn't a hit and run,
Right.
yeah, we know she
You're
fucked
like,
up,
she's
and
not
we've talked
perfect,
all
she
our
fucks
shit
up
about
too.
all, we were pretty hard
Yeah.
on Shannon when it happened, kind of like, wow, fuck, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But here she is, like, seemingly trying to
Okay, so
get her
move
shit
on,
together.
yeah.
I know you asked her, but this is my theory. Okay. I'm just
But
gonna
yeah,
get
so
opinion.
let me finish the
Okay.
question. You can answer.
okay.
But why the fuck is the whole
Yes.
cast acting as if like it's time to beat on Shannon?
Okay, so this is my theory. I'm not there. I don't know. I know I hear a little bit. I'm friends with some of the people, so I hear a little bit. But my theory is that it's easy for the audience if they're disconnected. They don't have true connections with these people, right? They're just voyeurs,
Sure.
Mhm.
that they're like on a simple level, like I just said, underdog, build up.
Mhm.
But within the confines of the group, their actual real relationships, I'm sure the girls who are at her are annoyed or like, we've already gone through this. Like, you've already gone through rehab. I don't know. I'm assuming this, right?
Yeah.
So I would be like, we have told you time and time again. By the way, I don't know. I have no sides because I don't watch it, but I'm like, time and time again, I've told you this is the problem. And now the audience is like against us for saying like, these are our boundaries. Maybe they're just like, that's what they're feeling, the boundaries.
Maybe, but like
it
there's like
seems cruel.
cameras like laughing at Shannon.
Well,
at
that's
times.
Okay,
weird.
I need to be. I
Why
need
is she
an
laughing
update.
at her?
I need an update because the last I caught up with, I thought that everyone felt bad for Shannon and they were giving Alexis a really hard
Yeah.
time for bringing John on the show. And
That's the
like
core
that's
of
right.
it,
So
right?
what has
It's
happened
really,
in the last
It's
week?
really that's the core of it. You got John suing.
It's because maybe Shannon's
So
the
who's beating up
darling
on
of the
Shannon?
season right now, and everyone's rallying against her, and they're sick of it
Who's rallying against
because
Shannon?
women are cruel and bitches.
They're
The
not,
other housewives are rallying
well,
against
first they're
Shannon?
not.
I don't know.
First they seem inconvenienced
Bye.
by having to pick sides between Alexis and Shannon. So there's that, which comes across as weird. And Shannon just gives like, if I'm Shannon, I think everyone's watching this being like, of course, if you're Shannon,
You and your friends.
you would be annoyed by Alexis's existence and
1000%.
behavior.
Yes, that 100%.
And then all of Shannon's peers that like or friends are kind of like acting as if like they don't understand why Shannon's so upset about all this.
That's crazy.
Do you- okay,
That's
hold on.
actually crazy.
Do you
I'm
think
sorry.
though it's
I-
because the show? Because they're kind of like there is that barrier where we'd be like, why are you bringing this person around? But then also, we also know, like, we signed a contract. We know who's coming.
Right. Well, I know.
So you sort
why.
of have to, like, accept that that's the filming schedule.
Well,
Right.
that's
Well,
what I'm saying.
Well,
Even if they're-
I'm clear why Alexis is there. I
That's-
mean, it's great
TV.
for her to be there for
For
great
sure.
TV.
That's what I
For sure.
mean. So,
It's
like,
like she could like torture Shannon, basically.
Yes, yes.
It's like her existence does. But anyway, like for me, Shannon, my heart goes out to Shannon. And I really like for a number of different reasons. However, I do think that, in the TV world, Alexis was on the show at one point. I don't think it's crazy for her to come back. And why not bring Juicy John to like just stir it all up or whatever? But what I found, and I haven't been totally keeping up with it like 100%, but I know the broad strokes of what's happening. I felt like if I was Alexis and I was going to come back over here and get this check and bring John with me because I'm so in love with him and he's so in love with me and it just is the way it turned out, I feel like I would kind of be like, not that Shannon would want to be my friend. I just feel like I wouldn't be awful to her. I would just kind of be like,
100%.
hey, like, I know you hate me, but like, can we, like, I would try to really, like, try to have some empathy for her
Yes.
and try to have like side things with her instead of like letting the group kind of dictate the temperature of what's happening.
Yeah, but like right now, the approach is Alexis is just kind of like inserting herself in the group and then in a weird way acting like Shannon's ruining her and John's life.
Okay. Do
Yeah,
you think Alexis
yeah.
is trying to get an orange?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Well,
she's
clearly
just,
she's trying to get an orange.
Okay, well, then that's
But-
what it is. And
No,
it's
I get
cruel
it.
Like, does she
and
not have
horrible.
one? Is she a friend?
Yeah.
She's a friend.
She did all this for a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But
Is
I'm
she
sure
an
they-
official friend
Hold
or an
on,
unofficial
but I
friend?
bet you they-
she
I
didn't
bet you
get
they
it-
offered
she
her a
didn't-
contract.
She didn't go on the trip.
Nope.
But they made it seem like Shannon uninvited her. But I'm so tired
She
of
gave a
Bravo
lot.
pretending
She gave a
y'all
lot.
don't that.
They don't host the trips?
Yes.
Oh, we talked about this.
So
Wait, what about
fucking
hosting
annoying.
the trips?
We
No,
talked
Bravo-
about the episode. Like
Bravo
what pay
talks
they pay.
like right now in the
Yeah.
storyline. I mean, I love it. I love Bravo, love OC, but like right now, it's just like, well, if you can afford to take the girls on a trip, then you can afford to pay John Jansen. Like she didn't fucking pay for that shit.
Yeah, she did.
The best thing
Like
that
it's
ever
sponsored.
happened to reality TV was breaking the fourth wall. Like the fact that we had to pretend that we actually paid money to take 25 people on a trip is insane.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
stupid. Like, and like, oh, where are you staying? I don't know. Sponsored by whatever hotel. Sponsored by this
Yeah,
airline.
But how are
It's
you
just
going
like
to seamlessly add that in there? Like, it's a blip. It's a moment, right?
Yeah.
Like inviting
it's
everyone.
lazy storytelling. Bravo.
Stop. No, but I mean, honestly, how are you going to say it's like an insert paid per, like you're not going to do
No, it's like
that.
we know, right? Like we knew, like
Of course.
30 years ago, we were unsure if wrestling was real or fake. But now we know. And just don't use it as storytelling because now then they're
Because you
using.
guys know.
Just go on the
Everyone
trip. you mean.
knows.
Just,
Go on the
get
trip,
on the
yeah.
plane and
Well,
go.
I got like a
Huh.
bad, like we did a trip to Barcelona and it ended up being like a really
That's the
crappy
worst
trip.
for me.
I won't say whose trip it was supposed to be, but it was so bad and like the place was awful and we had to like leave and everyone was complaining. And then she had like more rank than me. She was like, I don't want this to be my trip. And they were like, well, it has to be somebody's trip. And of course they're like, Cynthia,
Will you take
would you mind acting like this is your trip? Oh, really? No, I have to have a shitty trip just because it didn't work out. And I literally had to sit in my confessionals and go, well, I was like looking at Airbnbs and it looked really great. I literally had nothing to do with like the trip. And I totally had to take the L. Like this is like stuff that we had to do back in the day. And like, I just want to say for the
Still.
record now, for anyone that saw that Barcelona episode, that was not actually my trip. Okay.
None of them are.
But I am cheap. And I would have picked a very reasonable
But
place for us to stay.
Dude, I
So,
just don't
it
think
could have been my trip.
people
which is why they gave it
watching.
to me.
I just don't
They
even feel
do.
like this is
They
like
believe
some
it.
big.
Yes, they do believe it.
No, they do.
I just got yelled. Someone sent me those horrible DM. You are part of a cult and all these things. I'm
Oh
like, what
my
are you talking
God.
about? Like, I can't believe you're a Scientologist. And I'm like, you have the wrong person.
That's so crazy.
You have the wrong Minkoff.
You're the
Yeah.
wrong Minkoff. Like, I'm not a Scientologist.
No, people still
No.
ask me every day, is it scripted? Like,
Yeah, every
like
day.
they literally ask me,
Sure.
like, is it scripted? And I just think it's crazy at this point for people to ask me that. Like, clearly we're not sitting there as actors, like studying.
but
like,
that
the
literally-
lines.
but that's
we
the-
almost can't even make it.
Yeah,
up.
But you're
It's
actually
crazy.
saying the opposite of what the trip is. You're like, of course it's not scripted, but
It's staged.
But you
not
actually-
scripted.
No, it's not staged.
made
We're
up
put in
that you did the-
situations.
That's what I mean. Stage.
Yeah.
Well, okay, for lack of a better word.
Stage, yeah,
Okay,
I think people
stage.
think stage is almost scripted. Stage is like you're creating a situation, you're creating
right.
an environment, you're staging a situation, and it's like go, and then
Right.
from there, all the conversations are authentic.
Right.
Just like
1,000%. Like
the
once we get
Bachelor
there, but they have
stage,
to
like
get us there.
controlled and exactly.
They have to say, Cynthia,
controlled
you have to go
environment.
have lunch with Candy.
You're on a
'Cause-
trip. You're in a
right.
Sprinter van, whatever. You're, you know, like
Sprinter van.
They bring in stand in front of a mansion.
yeah. I don't know. It's just yeah. I mean, because again, we have to make a TV show. We understand it's a TV
Definitely.
show.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend it's not a TV
yes.
show. It's
You just want like the trips to like just not be, just slide into it. Just get on the trip. Don't
just get on the trip. I don't.
But it sounds like they made a whole storyline out of not inviting her. So maybe that was a thing. Maybe she was supposed to go on the trip.
Yeah,
She's pissed.
I'm fine with that storyline. Like Vanderpump does that sometimes, where they do it as just like, am I invited to Sheena's wedding? Am I not invited to Sheena's wedding? It's like, okay, fine. But when you start using the cost of said trip while simultaneously giving me like
I paid for this.
an
trip.
ad for the airline in which they're traveling on,
Right. Okay. Fine.
and a shot of the hotel and signage. It's just like
You guys are totally messing
and
this up for everyone who didn't realize that this was how it
well,
worked.
that's why they listen to us. So they are.
like,
Actually, that's
we
what our
are-
show is going to be.
we are
I tell
smart-
people it's BTS. Of
We are
like what's
smart
actually
fans.
happening.
Like, we are smart fans of reality TV. We're professional TV
do not
watchers.
insult our intelligence
I'm a fan
anymore.
of said reality TV. I know, as someone who was on the,
Yes.
I know more than as much as anyone how the sausage is
Yeah, of
made, and I still love
Nick,
this
you
shit.
know
Right.
that there's a wizard
You know.
behind the curtain. The
And
people
that's what I'm
work-
saying. You can still love it. You
Yeah,
can
of
still
course.
you can
I mean,
still
we're still gonna
demand
watch.
authenticity from your
Absolutely.
because you can still be authentic in an environment that is
Sure.
staged.
Is
you know?
yours more staged?
The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Well, it's a more of a controlled environment.
Okay.
So staged in that sense where it's just like it's always the same environment, right?
Is it
You know.
somewhat scripted or is it just...
Oh, I would say The Bachelor's the least scripted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
sure.
believe that. But they keep you up like all night, right?
Yeah, no,
That's what I've heard. Like it's really late.
there's content to record. It's not it's in no way are they keeping you up for the purposes of
For torture.
Sleep
for torture.
deprivation.
It's just
Okay,
like
okay.
there's just a lot. You've filmed reality TV. Hurry up
Yeah.
and wait. It's
Yes,
just
yes.
everything
Yeah.
takes time.
Yeah.
And things are delayed. It's not like, it's just like in your cast. It's like you've been around drinkers. And some people don't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drink.
Right.
I literally
I
I could not do reality
But
TV
no one's
without a
there being
cocktail.
like, make sure Cynthia has her fucking drink.
No.
Like you're in
Actually,
the
that's
no,
good
no,
to debunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, can
People
we say
think,
that?
they try to get you drunk. They don't feed
Yeah, I
you.
wanna clear that up.
Yeah, that's not true.
Because
at all.
we have a bunch of non-drinkers on our show who literally never drink.
Yeah.
And I'll just go ahead and just say Candy Burrs does not drink alcohol. And no one has ever asked her to drink alcohol. Well, maybe on one of my birthdays, I was like, can you just have one shot with me? But for the most
But
part,
that was
that's
you.
like as
we're
a
in no
friend
way
saying
forced
participate with
to
us.
drink
Yeah.
anything. All of that does not happen on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, for sure. I can't speak to
Our
all
show
the
doesn't
reality
either.
TV shows in the world, but for Atlanta, definitely not. If anything, it's the opposite. I'm literally driving to a scene going, as soon as I get there, that margarita better be on the table.
Right.
Go ahead and get that order in and keep them coming
Yes.
until I leave. And
Yeah,
if I
they'll
have to
text
Uber
you
home,
your
I'll Uber
order.
home.
Yeah, and then like if you want to drink, they'll have one ready. But other
Yes,
than that,
but we
and-
asked for it.
Yeah. And then when you're filming these, our vacations together, there's so much content to film. So like when you're in the vans, I don't know for you guys, like sometimes we skip like the meal scene, but they'll always have
Oh, we
like
don't.
food.
Atlanta doesn't skip any meal scenes.
Oh, we will. But they have like sandwiches in the car, in the vans, and like we're like scarfing down
Mhm.
food and yeah, but no, they don't force that.
So big season of Beverly Hills is about to come out.
Yeah, another big season.
Yep. You will not be on
Yeah.
it.
I will not be on it.
No, boo.
It's okay.
I know. But I loved you on it. I love your last
Thank
season on
you.
there.
I felt like you were finally getting your groove.
Yeah, she was.
I
You
think
were
I
starting to get real
was.
messy.
I was.
You
I
were.
was
You were in it.
finally starting. I wasn't say I was comfortable yet, but I was starting to feel comfortable. Because it takes a while to like go through the whole cycle of it airing, watching it, and then when I rewatched it for this, like when they like preview it like right before the next season, it all seemed such nonsense and irrelevant. When at the moment it's airing, it feels so big and
Mhm.
meaningful, and like my life is over or someone else's life is
Mhm.
over, and then you watch it again, you're like, oh my god, people literally like the way people like hated Erica, like was so intense, and even just us girls were like, no one's ever had this experience on the
Yeah.
show. And then the next season's like Queen, we're dancing. And I was like, that was my learning lesson. I was like, oh, it's really nothing matters. None of it matters.
so
and
not
I don't have a
personal.
life like that. That's so extreme. So like anything that I said is like forgotten anyway. But yeah, I was getting comfortable, but it it was done. I was like, as you said, it's like winding down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know when it was going to wind down, but I also knew I was never going to amp up for anyone. Like that's not my style. They push me, but like, come on, they wanted me to amp up all the time. And I'm like, okay, I did. Like, I don't know what to say. I am like a normal person and I'm not an actor. I don't know how to do that. So
it's not
fun.
easy. It's not easy, especially if you want to stay true to who you are. Like if you're just not like,
I want to tell you, I started watching
crazy.
Atlanta.
I mean, like some people are just made for this stuff. Like I can't make it up. Like I have castmates, they want all the smoke. Yeah. And I'm literally like, no smoke, please. Like, please. Yes. I don't want to I just want to come and have fun and drink and eat and go on the trips and talk about stuff and like help people make up. Like that's like, I've always loved being the voice of reason. And like literally like, even in my confessionals, like, and that's the time when you light everybody up because that's when like, of course, in person, usually everyone's pretty nice to you. And then, what I learned my first season was I honestly thought everybody loved me. I was like, this is awesome. I knew these women were going to like me. I watched that show and saw the confessionals and they were literally calling me like, they said I was obsessed with Nene because I was like her friend on the show who I was loyal to because that's who they wanted me to be friends with.
You're like,
they were calling
her.
me like single Black female. Like they literally made it seem like I actually was watching and I was like, am I a stalker? Am I in love with Nene? What the hell is going on? Because it really was like, they sold it. It really like, and people were all on my timeline. What is wrong with you? And then I made the funny, awesome, great, iconic mistake of coming up with a friend contract to give to Nene. And that just really stamped me as a stalker because then I would have to see confessionals like Kim.
Why did you make that up?
What is wrong with her? Who gives someone a friend contract?
Wait, did you make that up?
I totally made it up. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. Because I couldn't tell if she was like really my friend or not because I would like hear them talking stuff and I was like, but wait, we're friends. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're like my one friend on the show that I thought was like my girl. Like, what do I need to do? Like, put you on a contract? And I thought it was hilarious. And it totally ended up making me look insane.
I've learned about reality TV. Reality TV doesn't really like your jokes. Well, if you try to be, it's just that so much about humor is timing and delivery. And when it comes to reality TV, context is irrelevant.
It's true.
Timing
It's true.
Is a suggestion.
By the way,
what happened when? Who knows?
That is very poignant for me because I feel like that's who I am. I'm extremely sarcastic.
Yeah,
like
that's
and
TV.
And that doesn't read on TV.
Mm-mm.
And I'll never forget my very first all cast event. It was my third day filming. I walked in and it was at PK and Dorit's house. And I had met PK a couple times at somewhere else, like at someone else's house. And he's like, oh my God, like you're on the show. Welcome. I said, hi. And he goes, I'll give you advice. Everyone hated me because I'm super sarcastic. Don't do that. Like, just be careful. I'm like, okay, that. And he did it genuinely as like to help me.
Right.
That seized me up forever. I was like, I can never make a joke because they're going to attack me for my joke or it's not going to land. So I just avoided being myself from there. That really did me in when I look back.
It's true.
Because I am literally the snarkiest, more sarcastic person. And I was so afraid that it's going to read whatever he was. He's like, oh, everyone hated me, Crystal. Everyone hated me. They don't get it. They don't get your jokes on TV. And you're right. It doesn't work. But also it's like it turned on me by not being myself. So maybe if I was myself, it could have read. I have no idea.
I don't know, but
Humble Brag is the place where Crystal and Cynthia will be there themselves.
We are funny people.
Speaking
so watch our podcast.
Of PK and Dorit.
Yes.
How do you think Dorit's going to be going into the season? Is she single? What's going on with them?
I don't know if she's single because Rob ran into PK last week.
Timmy.
Oh, wow.
Was he wearing a tracksuit?
I didn't ask. I can't ask my husband what other men are wearing. It's like, hey, what was he wearing? I actually like PK. He blocked me.
Why? I've never met PK.
Because, his wife and I were like sparring,
You guys are friends, right? Are you friends?
I actually genuinely
she
really
blocked
liked
you first and then he blocked you as well?
No, she didn't block me. We follow each other.
Wait,
he
so
blocked
why would he
me.
block you?
Dorit didn't block you, but PK did?
No, yeah.
But he blocked you.
Because I think he blocked me. I'm surprised. I found out like later. But Dorit, and I think the thing with Dorit's been on the show for I think 9 years now or something like that. Like she also knows the game. It's like, this is what we do. We spar, like, and you move on. Like, I don't hold grudges, She was my first person I liked. And we actually hung out outside the show, which is rare. People are like, where's the rest of the crew? And you're like, you don't hang out with these people like outside. Like, it's rare. It's like
Right,
one or
I
two.
actually do hang out with some.
All of them?
Well, not
It
all of
seems
them
like
at
a
the
mixed
same
bag,
time,
but-
No, but
like
you
if
know,
they
like,
call,
Yeah, I have like
you
one
know,
or
like,
two that like,
hey, you
but
know, we'll
you
get
have 5
together.
months of filming every day. Like I have to go back to like my other friends. Like they're all put on hold, you know. But Dorit and I did, and our daughters are the same age, so we go to, you know, we invite our kids to each other's birthday parties. We were having like a good moment. But then whatever, I think it was time that we sparred. I think it's like you can't just keep having the same fights with people, so it just started happening. Nonetheless, PK blocked me. It's fine. But Rob ran into him and he goes, "You're not going to believe who I ran into." I said, "What was he wearing?" And he said, "PK." I was like, "Oh," he goes, "You know, he's very lovely."
Okay.
And Rob, he goes, I said to him, "Did you guys fake your like divorce?" Because you told me he said that. And he goes, "No, it was all real." And so,
So,
Rob,
so they are divorcing.
no, I think that they were having
They
problems.
were having problems. They were
They
I think they're
separated.
back together.
So
I
they're
think,
back
I think it
together.
went through a 2-month cycle.
They're back
Okay.
together.
That's what I think.
they
I
are
don't know
back together.
actually,
I
but
don't know.
it didn't sound like they were not together, what Rob said. He just said we were having problems and we shared them.
I really wanted to see Dorit date on next season.
I know that would have been more interesting, I think. But Dorit's character dates, like she's like a person with young kids, and you never know. You still have
royally
next
bummed.
season. You never know.
I wish that Rob would have responded to PK when he asked how you and the kids were. Like, if you unblock Crystal, you could find out for
I
yourself.
know.
By the way, he didn't know. I don't tell Rob this because he would be really sensitive to that. He'd be like, "Why?" Like, because he sees it all as very surface.
Right.
The whole thing, all the fighting. He's like, "Why are you crying? It's like so funny, this episode." I'm like, "They're telling me I'm manipulative." He goes, "Oh, it's so funny." Like he thinks it's all stupid, and because, you know, he's a director. He thinks it's, you know, entertainment. So when he sees everyone off the show, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're all in this together." Like, you know, he doesn't think. So if I said he actually blocked me, I think he'd been like,
I think blocking someone
upset.
is such a like intentional, strong, aggressive move. Like for me, like you have to be awful to me for me to actually
Yeah.
block you.
Unless
Like I'll mute you. Like
unless they
I'm a
broke your
muter.
heart.
Like
I'm
I
a
mute.
muter.
Like I love muting people. It's like my
Yeah.
favorite button. But if I actually take the time to block you, then I really, really
And I want you to know
you
it.
have offended me,
Yeah.
insulted me. You have just done the most on my timeline for me to say, you know
should I
what,
be
you,
more upset?
you can't be here anymore.
it's a move.
Should I be
think blocking
upset?
is a lot.
I don't
Well,
think
I don't think you
so.
need to like be bothered by PK in general.
Blocking me.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to
Were
lose
y'all
sleep
hanging all
over
the
it, but
time?
I'm gonna spend time tonight and process it.
I am certainly looking forward to hearing your takes on this season.
I will be giving them.
Prediction: who
Yeah.
do you think will be on the up, and who do you think will be on the down this season on Beverly Hills Housewives?
It's hard to say because they're all friendly. They're all getting along. So I don't know what the season's gonna look like. Every year I've been on, people like literally hate each other. Like they're at each other's throats at the end of the season. Like everyone's liking each other and commenting and buddy. So
You don't think that's performative at all?
no, these girls don't perform nice. Like it's not, you're not like performatively nice. I genuinely don't know. I do know that it was like Dorit versus Kyle first, because that's how it ended.
yeah,
And then they're back together.
yeah.
And then I know that Dorit fights with a lot of the girls. So whether she's up or down, we'll have to watch. But I don't know.
She was
like,
down last season,
hell yeah, she
So
was.
hello.
so I feel like
According to the
Dorit's got to
theory.
be kind of on the up.
I hope she
Yeah.
And
redeems
Kyle
herself.
is
Kyle's a staple. She's always
Yeah.
up or down. She doesn't care.
she's always a main character, I suppose.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
It's her show. When I started the show, I was told by the girls, this is Kyle's show. They let you know.
I do think of her. When I think of Beverly Hills, I think of Kyle.
Yeah.
1000%.
She's kind of earned it.
It's
Yeah,
she's the what is it?
totally
It's a
she's earned it. I
sorority.
mean-
I was being hazed, and she's like the queen, the den mother, whatever it's called. Yeah, the president. Like she's, and she will always be president.
Yeah, she's been on. She's an OG. She's
Yeah.
been on from day one.
Well, ladies, I'm excited for you guys to launch your show. What can people expect in your first couple episodes?
Oh, Runaway Train. We had like 2 jobs, just to say how we met and why we did a podcast together. And we literally, like, I don't even know how I tried to apply for a job with Delta on the podcast.
So when I thought about starting this podcast, it was really like, okay, I'm on this show about Beverly Hills Housewives, yet no one is authentically that except me. I feel like I'm just like everybody else, but under this weird sort of veil of LA Hollywood that there's always these, I would tell my friends stories who don't live in LA and they're like, that's not a normal story. I'm like, it is. And like, that's not what people like, that's not how life is. I'm like, it is. And I was like, it would be fun to like share these stories with people that who live the same stories. And I thought, Cynthia is out every fucking day. You have ridiculous stories that you don't know they are.
Yeah.
It's just your life.
Mhm.
Your life is jet setting and fun and crazy. And so I thought it would be fun to like share those stories and give a little BTS of, what has gone down for me the last 4 years and your last 11 years. And
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, for like the whole Cynthia and Crystal connection of it all, I think people would normally just put us together. Like, I don't think we would have known each other if it wasn't for the Bravo
call us the odd
world in
couple.
some way. And yeah, we are.
Yeah.
For me, like I always tried to like carry myself with like grace and class on the show, which basically for reality TV means boring. And I felt like in a lot of ways you kind of got that tag as well, because you were like, mindful, you're like empathetic, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to be hurtful or whatever. So I think this is a great space for us to actually show our true personalities, like some of the things that you guys don't get to see on, the housewife platforms, which is great because like even like the whole funny thing, like I think I'm pretty funny as well, but I wasn't casted to be the funny one.
Yes, like you get sort of pigeonholed, but it's beyond that. We just vibe, and we vibed with you. So we thought, hey, let's just get
I liked you on site, by the way. As soon as you walked into the Ivy, I was like,
likewise.
That's my people.
Yeah. Did she get a rose?
What?
She got
Did
the
I get a
final
rose?
Yeah. Well, we are super excited to have you ladies. Congratulations on the new show. You can check out Crystal and Cynthia's new show, Humble Brag, every Monday. It's dropping the 21st of October this Monday, so you'll be sure to check it out. I think you can already subscribe, so go right now and subscribe to their show. It's going to be wacky, wild, and fun. I cannot wait for y'all to listen to it. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thanks,
You're
Nick.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Every day, people come up to me and say, Nick, I can't believe how beautiful you are. No one ever says that, actually. But they say I look younger than I am. I don't know what to say. Well, actually, I do. I tell them it's all because of OneSkin. OneSkin is the world's first longevity company making topical skincare supplements that are designed to reverse the biological aging of the skin. Founded by the all-women team of scientists, OneSkin is the first and only skin longevity company to target cellular senescence with their proprietary OS01 peptide. OS01 is a scientifically proven to decrease lines and wrinkles, boost hydration, and help with the thinning skin that often comes with age. In a third-party 12-week clinical study performed by third-party research organizations, OS1's face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish visible signs of aging. Wrinkles were diminished in 87% of users. Incredible. Don't just take our word for it. They've got over 4,000 five-star reviews for their full line of face, body, sun, and travel size products. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspect of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code VIALL at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code VIALL. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Like I said, we're super excited to have Cynthia and Crystal hosting Humble Brag for MV Media. Be sure to subscribe, tell your friends. It's dropping every Monday. It's the perfect thing to listen to right after you check out Ask Nick.
First episode is this coming Monday.
First episode is this coming Monday, so be sure to check it out. All right, so let's get into some Love is Blind. I've heard some rumors that we might be anticipating a little bit of a crossover of some Bachelor Nation people into other universes.
Perfect match. Rumored. I've seen this online.
Yeah, there's been leaks of
so
cast.
So maybe Love is Blind in the future as well.
Interesting.
I would watch. Well, because that's interesting too, because it's like you kind of recognize the voice.
Would you want to see Jason Tardik on Love is Blind?
Yeah.
Wait, that's a good point, Leah. Like, what if I'm talking to Morgan Freeman? Like, I'm going to know it's Morgan Freeman the first second he talks. I'm like, wait.
Right, like a lot of these people do have very
distinct voices.
So it also adds like a guessing factor too, because it's like, kind of like who could be there.
Mm.
Whereas like if it's complete strangers, like maybe you've seen them on a dating app, but otherwise.
But instead of being like, what celebrity do you look like? It would be like, what shows have you been in?
Mm-hmm.
What movies have you been in?
It's very easy. It's very
Give
easy
us
to
your
deduce who it
resume.
is, I think. I think there are holes.
Also, if it's celebrities, I feel like the cast will get leaked far before.
And people will like know who
We'll
all
know
is in
who
there.
everybody's in there.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
in
make
that
it to
way.
like the next phase.
Right.
Yeah, like hide your relationship, spot it out.
Filming a project.
You know?
Whatever it is, yeah.
Well, the new batch of Love is Blind episodes are out, and we'll be breaking down episode 10 on this episode, and we'll be breaking down episode 11 next episode, and then the finale comes out after that. Mr. Garrett and Miss Taylor.
Yes.
I thought this was a really interesting conversation because, like, here you have Garrett and Taylor seeming to be, like, super communicative, super open, super honest, really embracing this. I really pride myself in being an honest guy, especially in relationships. I really want to be honest, transparent. As humans sometimes do, you kind of get caught up, you get stressed, you get afraid of what to say, and you don't know how to say something. And I feel like that's what Garrett did in the situation. Like, he definitely was not honest.
And in his defense, this was all within like a day span. So it was really fast. People are like, they're working their job still. So it's like,
but I just like watching it play out. I just feel like we've all been Garrett before.
Yes, we have. Exactly.
You know, where something like
the detail or the fact.
Here he has an ex reach out, right? That he didn't control that. You know, it wasn't like he didn't ask for that. We're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that his ex did randomly reach out, and then he probably had a oh fuck moment. You know, it's like, do I tell her? Do I not tell her? I know she's going to care about it. I know she's going to be mad about it. And I don't really care about it. And this means nothing to me. This is a nothing burger. So, like, I'll kind of tell her about, you know, like, I think we kind of all do stuff like that. And we've done it at times. You don't think so?
I disagree.
I was gonna say, I mean,
no?
I'm sure done it in certain situations, but I feel like to your partner, like, why are you leaving that out if you don't think you did something wrong?
Yeah, also I feel like in this situation they don't have enough time to be fucking around like this. Like,
no, I get that.
Also,
but I mean, you've never been Garrett.
Well, the
with this specifically, no. And I think that
I'm not talking about this specific scenario.
Not having an ex reaching out and you not tell them, but like
just a scenario where like
a part of the full story.
No, but Ashley is
specifically
right.
on something. I'm talking about something where like I think we can all agree that Garrett's ex reaching out to him, he didn't do anything wrong.
That part happens every day.
And it's also something that if he told Taylor in that moment, it could potentially trigger her and upset her, right?
That is true.
Yes.
We agree with that?
I don't think that Garrett did anything wrong. I think that
I think
her
he did something
reaching
wrong.
out, I think that I think that in the text, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think if his ex reaches out and he says, I'm with someone,
stop reaching out,
so you never buy, that's fine. But he omitted the fact that he answered the text. And he said that he just liked it.
No, I get it. I know what he did. I know what he did wrong. I'm not defending his actions. I think what I'm trying to paint a picture of. I empathize with the situation that Garrett found himself in, and I'm not saying what he did was right. And I understand why she was very upset, and I would be very upset too. I know those situations where if Garrett didn't do anything wrong, but he knows that a situation happened that will upset his partner.
Right.
So it's not like Garrett's like, hey, I need to own up to this because I fucked up. It's more like, well, I didn't really do anything here. And I can understand why he got to the decision that he did. I didn't think he would agree that he did it wrong.
Sure.
I think he would agree that he fucked up and wishes he did it differently. I just know in those moments when it happens so fast that sometimes we are able to like talk ourselves into doing the wrong thing because like it's like, I didn't do anything here. Like this is a nothing thing. And then you realize your partner's upset and you're kind of like, why the fuck did I do it that way? Like why?
Yeah.
And when Garrett was like mad at himself, I felt like I've been him at times. Not that it was an identical situation. I think there are times where you can fuck up, have to apologize, and it doesn't mean you had bad intentions or that you're doing something nefarious or that you are now an untrustworthy person. She doesn't know that yet, you know, and now she has to like ask him questions and like she has to deep dive and she has the right to, you know, be like, what the fuck is going on now? But I really understood Garrett's fuck up. And I really think it was just a fuck up.
I do think that Taylor gave him the opportunity, though, to explain himself before they entered the party.
Yeah.
Where he had the time and space to say what happened then. And it was just odd that he didn't just omit, honestly. He lied. Like he said, I just liked the message. So it's not even an omission. She asked him, she said, okay, here's your opportunity to give me the details. And he didn't do it.
No, I know. He fucked up. For sure. He was wrong. I think we like to paint things as black and white. I think we like to oversimplify. We like to be like, well, I've never lied before and I would never do that in this situation. And if I really tried to be nuanced about this and really honest with myself as someone who really prides himself in being very honest in my relationships, I have found myself being like, why did I do that? That was
So are you
stupid.
a facts guy? Because they get into this argument at the end of the episode, at the end of episode 10, where they're defining facts versus details.
Because he was saying it's a detail and she's like, no, it's a fact.
I mean, I was definitely in agreement with her at that point.
Yeah.
I also think people do things like that where I'm like, I think he was trying to protect Taylor's feelings, being like, it's not a big deal. So why would I let you get upset over this when I'm just telling you she did reach out? It was nothing. But I'm like, at the same time, when you're trying to protect somebody else's feelings, you don't know how she's going to react in that moment. So instead, it just ended up doing more damage than just you being forthcoming from the get-go.
I feel like they're about to walk. They got cameras on them. They got mics on them. They're about to walk into this event. He's like, this is bad fucking timing. Like, let's just, we can talk about it later. Like, and didn't feel like getting into it. And then he kind of got caught off guard by Tyler's question and felt kind of like bro-y with Tyler for a second and just like accidentally dropped it out where she was like, wait, what the fuck? You responded? And it was very like, well, go get your phone. He's like, well, my phone's over there. And it was like, he got caught when I felt like that they probably would have had that conversation once they got home and they were like, let's talk about it. And he was like, okay, like, let me show you the message. Like, this is what I said. And it probably would have been a different scenario. But because they're about to walk into this event, he's like, let's not get into it right now. Like, we can talk about it later. And then Tyler like kind of pulls it out of him. It just was like all in all, like just a bad.
I think a lot of it had to do with him being on camera. And I completely agree with Natalie. In our relationship, I've had people from my past reach out knowing that it's like, I'm going to tell Natalie that they reached out and I know it's going to irritate her. And it's like, it's going to put her in a certain mood. And I didn't do anything wrong, but it's just like when it happens, you're like, ugh, it's like, like how the rest of the day or the rest of the hour is going to go. And it like, I'll always tell her, but like sometimes I don't immediately rush to her and go, this happened and this person reached out. I will sometimes like maybe wait for the right time because I just know it's going to be triggering or upsetting or if nothing else annoying, you know? And I think Garrett got caught up at a time where he's again on camera in this crazy environment, this crazy situation happened right before everyone's getting together. And it's like, my guess is he really wanted to tell her. So that's why he told her what he told her. Because it ate him up to hide it from her, but he wasn't ready to get into it fully because of knowing that would be a deeper conversation and they had to like go to this party. And then she kept asking more questions. And so he kind of like and you know what I'm saying? It kind of unraveled from there.
I think it's a difference of like preference. So like, for example, I would want the full story right away, regardless of like, oh, we're walking into a party. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'd be spinning the whole time. Like, what's the rest of the story? What's going on? Yeah. I want the information like right away.
We all want it right away. But I'm saying it's just like Garrett was trying to figure out the right time. And his conscience probably had him bring it up sooner than he wanted to, knowing, and then he was like, it was over from there because you're right. She's going to want to know.
If I have a preference, it's I want to know nothing until we get home. And then you're like, hey, let me tell you everything because like just breadcrumbing a little bit. And then it's like, okay, now I have to act like we're good when I am kind of annoyed with you. And there's like all these people around and we have to be like the strong couple that we are. It's like, I don't feel like doing that. So it's like, I would prefer to not know anything until we get home that night. And it's just us, no cameras, whatever.
And I know Natalie now. I know how to handle these things. And we have the trust where I could, if she were like, well, why didn't you tell me right away? It's like, I was going to wait till we got home. And Natalie would be like, okay, that makes sense. They don't have that rapport. They're in this very serious relationship. They're learning each other. They have the pressures of timing and urgency. And it's just like a very imperfect situation for someone from his past to reach out.
Yeah. It is interesting because I am actually glad that they had a little bit of conflict. Because to just be so like in the honeymoon stage for the whole time, it's like you're gonna eventually have conflict and this is how you learn each other, right? Like he didn't know that Taylor was maybe the kind of person who I should just either tell her it all up front or all later. And they're learning each other still. And so now he knows. And then in the future, he'll be able to correct that. And so I think that I'm actually glad that they had some conflict in their relationship.
What did you think of the conflict between Tim and Alex?
I was like, they did not choose to keep going forward.
I never want to see you again.
Tim said real fast, he said, I will never see myself saying yes to you forever.
Tim.
You took a nap.
How dare you?
It's giving Corinne.
Yeah. Corinne napped a lot on my
What did she say?
She said a lot of things.
No, about the naps.
And that's why you sent her home, right? The naps.
No,
No, Corinne, during what did she say?
That they wanted her to apologize for the naps, and she was like, "This is the most ridiculous thing ever," and that the producers were like, "Time to apologize," and she's like, "I'm so sorry, I took a nap." Do you know how silly it is for me to be apologizing for napping?
It is that is crazy. I mean, I can see his frustration of just being like, my parents drove 10 hours.
That part's valid.
And like they've been through so much, and and then hearing her side of like, well, I did spend 4 hours with them, and like, you know, like
The
He was
phone
mad at
stuff was weird.
Yeah, he was mad at the text message after that she was taking a nap and missed the text, right?
And then when she called, it's because you want to talk on your time, but it's my time.
I was fully on her side.
Yeah, he
with
lost
this.
me
I just
completely.
I think
don't
they were both wrong.
understand how these two got together. They could not
They're-
be more different.
That
They're the
first fight.
opposite person.
Yeah, it's like Tim is super organized. He's got everything together. His house looks
Yeah, he's a deliberate,
Organized.
intentional man who, like, you know, puts in a shit ton of effort and consideration. Like you said, he did wake up, fed her whole family. He put a maximum amount of effort, and that's a mistake people make in relationships. Is like they expect the effort they put in.
yeah.
Keeping tabs.
He didn't.
That
Yeah,
was
but-
crazy because she was like,
don't know
and
if that's keeping
remember, my
tabs.
mom doesn't like seasoning on her chicken, and it was very like he was like, okay, like I got to get this right. Like he was grinding for her family, and then for her to like not really give the same effort, I can see his
Yeah.
I was
Or
saying-
I
clean
can
her
see why
house
he
at
was really
all.
upset.
He was mad about that part, I think, what Natalie's saying. Like, he was more mad about the parent thing, but then the nap and the text message is like the escalation of like, I'm going to choose now to like blow this up.
Well,
Yeah,
it feels like Alex doesn't put in effort, like in
At all.
general. Like
No,
you
I
show
think
up
she
to her
does.
house,
I
and
think
it's
she
just
does.
like you didn't.
Not in the way that
she
he
can
does.
afford
You
that
could have
house by
tidied
herself.
this up a little bit.
But she can afford that by herself. Let her like live how she wants to live. Like, that's what I think.
Yes, you can live how you want to live, but if you're going to be bringing somebody home,
Well, they're not
Well,
living
I think
together
that's
yet.
just a different of like
Lifestyle.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there are people out there who resonate with Alex and being like, listen, like my shit's messy. Like
And she said she works hard. Like, she needs to take a nap because she's like, go, 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 like all day. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, she's
Well, that's the
hustling.
thing. I think they're two people
Different.
incredibly set in their ways,
Yes.
and their ways that they're set in could not be more
Agreed.
opposite of each other.
yeah, I don't fault Alex for her ways. I just think they could not be less suited for each
And
other.
it is like, I think, again, I don't like Tim's delivery. It seemed a bit harsh.
Very harsh.
Very harsh. Oh my
Um,
God. He's good at
But he also
retracting.
seemed hurt. He seemed, I think we have to allow, I think sometimes when it comes to reality shows, we don't offer, to be honest, some men the grace that we offer others because, men can, when they get upset, can come across as angry or even aggressive, at times. And I think sometimes, we saw Tim make that really direct statement and it kind of gives like, ooh, I don't know if I like this side of him, but like he seemed hurt and upset and he didn't show us any other qualities other than hurt and upset. And I think sometimes we will project when men show emotion on TV, like maybe a darker side, or like we try to read into their anger or their emotions, because obviously we know that sometimes men can be bad at it, and there are a lot of bad actors out there. But I think he was upset. I think he was really hurt by the effort he put in with her family and the moment he had with her dad,
Mhm.
and she was like, I spent 4 hours with her family, as if she was super inconvenienced and then needed a nap and was kind of like, what's the big deal? Like, I don't know if there would be any of us who wouldn't be annoyed or at least concerned if this person really is my person. It really seemed what they connected on was family. That the one thing they have in
That's
common
true,
is how important their families are to them.
And the pods.
And then she was like, your family's not that important to
Yeah.
me.
We also missed a really big argument with them.
We do that a lot with them. Like
But love is
In
more.
general, we're just kind of dropped into scenes and to emotional
gotta start playing
conversations,
those-
and it's really.
I think it's this season
cameras.
specifically.
It catches me off guard. I'm just like, wait, what did I miss?
Well, and remember last season, who was the teacher? They like reenacted the breakup. Remember one of them, Kenneth?
Oh yeah,
or
Kenneth. and-
Kenneth
Yeah,
and
that was
whoever.
lame.
Well, I think remember when you said that when they were in Mexico, you were like they hate each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's just compatibility because when something happens, they both just pull away. Like I don't think Tim's necessarily being harsh. He's just cold.
Mhm.
Like when he doesn't agree with someone, he's gonna just say, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I think he was just so done.
And
that-
Alex is also gonna be like, well, I'm right. So then it's like, well, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah,
out.
what they do have in common is they both seem to be very strong-headed people.
Yeah.
Who don't easily concede differences. But yeah, they were not meant to be at all.
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, and then Hannah told Nick that she thinks he's not on the same level as her.
This was a hard episode to
Yeah.
watch of just the constant like degrading of Nick.
Yeah.
It's hard. And like obviously we talked to Hannah. She has a lot of regrets. She wished she would have approached it differently. But like it's just hard, and he takes it so well.
He
And
does take it well.
I can see her frustration with him. Like, and I think I said this before of like, it's one thing to want to like nurture your partner, but to mother them is completely different. And
Yeah.
like, he's looking in the fridge for pasta. He like doesn't know how to do simple tasks. It's like, yeah, that's frustrating and that's annoying. But to constantly pick at this man.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah, that's a fine line between like helping your partner be a better person and
Changing
just
them.
like nagging
Yeah.
and nitpicking them and breaking them down.
It's also, I just feel like, and I think he said this like with her brother maybe, where it's like, she doesn't compliment him at all. She's just like, he's like, through the obstacle course, like that gave me the ick. Every time you did this, it gave me the ick. You did this, and it's like annoying. You can't, it's like,
Her
woo.
family was even like, well, you got to stop
Yeah,
doing that.
Yeah,
it's rough.
And short of you, I mean, Natalie and I will joke and have fun with icks at times, but like if you're actually being serious about how much your partner gives you the ick, like there's no better way to make a man feel emasculated. And if you make him feel emasculated, chances are he's going to resent you pretty quickly thereafter.
Yeah. Well, and then we have on the Ramses Marissa side, like Marissa said she has a vitamin D deficiency, PMS, and like that's the reason she doesn't want to have sex all the time.
Yeah,
Valid.
Ramses.
Interesting context.
I know the people we've talked to seem to stand by Ramses. He's not doing interviews, we found out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's like he's so progressive and so like pro women and feminist until it
Sex.
comes to
Mhm.
women.
Yeah. I
And
will.
then it's like, no.
They could never make me like Ramses.
I will say, like, I do think it's kind of a double standard, but his take on the military part of it, like, I think it's understandable that he doesn't support like the imperialism as a person of color as well. Like, he has that perspective.
Absolutely.
But, and I think, like, well, I'm
But,
just,
yeah, it has nothing to do with his opinions on the military.
and I think, like,
It's-
for that part of it, like, they just should not have been matched in the first place
Yeah.
because he knew she was in the military. But then also, like, the standard of the sex part is really interesting.
Yeah,
Even when
it's
she's like, I'm like, I have deficiencies. Like, this is more than just a condom.
and
to
he's like,
me.
but is this going to be like an all the time thing?
yeah.
It's like
like-
all the time. You've only known each other for a couple weeks and you're immediately like, it's like if we don't have sex
Yeah.
every day.
Well,
or-
part of me wonders that he's like grappling on this part to like nag this because he just can't get past the whole military part, which is, I guess, understandable, but just not the match.
It's just also
I
like
don't-
not the way. Like pick something else.
Yeah, I
to
know.
Be upset
I think
about.
I think that's
Yeah.
letting him off the hook for his expectations of sex in a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a projection. I think he also, in addition to his feelings about Marissa serving in the military, I think he also has a certain level of expectations. And listen, sex is important in a relationship, but his delivery is very like Marissa shouldn't have to explain to this adult man basically like how hormones or a period works for women. You know what I'm saying? Like he acted like this was the first time he's ever heard
Yeah.
that like every once in a while a woman might have something going on where it changes how she feels, her mood, her sex drive, and he's acting as if like this is news and how like
and she has to explain like this is going to
Yeah.
happen once a month and like this.
it's fucking crazy. to
Come
me.
on, really?
Well, that was the part too where later on she said, we figured out our sex life once a month. And I was like, wait, so no condom once a month? Or was she saying it was the period? Or was she saying,
I don't know. It's I struggle with him.
What Ramses does the thing, he's obviously an intelligent guy. He's obviously good with his words. To me, at the end of the day, he's just trying to find clever ways that sound better than the average guy being like, I just want to make sure I get laid.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, he just wants to get what he wants, and what he wants is sex constantly, all the time. And for her to just be like popping her pussy left and right, up and down, and it's like, sorry,
Facts.
it's just not how it works that way. I mean, like my husband, like the second I hit a REM sleep, his dick's hard, and I'm like, whoa, I just fell into that, and now and it's like, listen, it's stuff we got to work through, but
I
like.
am gagged?
She's
Just like,
talking,
wait, who?
no, she's talking about last night.
It's so casual.
Oh.
She popped off of that one.
She was
Anyway.
like, really?
It's like the second it takes me so fucking long to fall asleep, and the second I'm in REM,
Did you just touch
I'm
me?
uncomfortable.
Yeah, literally, it's like, and now I'm awake. So thank you so much
And
for
you know what I
that.
don't want to do? Touch your dick.
Well, yeah, because you have to do the work.
Because now I'm mad.
Yeah, now I'm mad. Oh my gosh. So
You guys need a moment?
It was good.
was there anything else that happened this
No,
episode?
I mean,
Ashley and Tyler.
yeah.
Oh yes.
So we do get more clarification.
Okay, but also her saying like, do they know what? And it's just like bad in timing, obviously, because the internet has been interneting and like pulling all these photos of this poor.
Which it doesn't
children and
necessarily add
family.
up to.
And he obviously doesn't know that the world is going to pull this out before he can. But she's like, do they know what you look like? And he's like, I don't think so. And
Well,
meanwhile,
like,
we've
why?
been
Why?
seeing photos of him with these children. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, come on. But I do think they handle this conversation with such care. And like, you can just see the love between the two of them. And I really hope they're able to work through this and,
Yeah,
and
it's-
fight for it.
It
But-
seems unclear. Like, is there more to the story and we're just not being shown the story? Or is there more to the story and Tyler's hiding
Yeah.
the story?
Like, where's the clarity?
Yeah.
Like, either he's lying or people are making it up on the internet. Well, I guess he's in photos, but
Or like we're just, unfortunately this is the season of like we're not being shown everything.
yeah. So they took,
Yeah.
We're
And there's
missing real conversations.
They're trying to like redo the conversation for the camera, and it's like they're just missing pieces that maybe he's already told her that.
he seems very reluctant to have this conversation. I don't understand why. I think it would be something he would be proud of being a
it
surrogate.
seems like a wholesome incident that he was
but
not
he
surrogate,
clearly
but
seems uncomfortable.
It does just get sticky when children are involved,
Yes.
and you can tell that like I don't know what his involvement is with these children, but clearly it's like an uncomfortable situation where it's like I understand him being like, I don't know if this is something I really want to bring to national television.
Yeah.
And what do we know about this situation
Well, so
online?
in the show, he says that like it was a close friend and her wife. They wanted to have kids, so he was the sperm donor. Online, we have
And it was a lesbian couple.
a lesbian
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So already on that, like a donor's role in that dynamic.
Should be
Interest-
removed,
Yeah,
right?
Well,
Which
yeah, I
is-
mean, it's like,
yeah.
but the fact
It's
that
tough
he is
'cause he's friends
involved
with her.
Yeah,
is
so
not
that's the part.
It's not crazy.
It's not normal.
I don't think it's that crazy. Like,
It's not that it's crazy. What I'm saying is like, there's no like, it's a unique situation
sure.
for anyone. So
Yeah.
like, I can understand why he has a hard time articulating this unique situation.
To me, the problem is like he had off camera time before this to tell her. I understand him not wanting to bring this on television, right? But then
he
had time.
and he fucked up.
Regardless, yeah, this is
Yeah.
something you say in the pod.
No,
so, like,
he owed Ashley this conversation in the pods before they got engaged. He was completely wrong there. I mean, I don't know, and maybe she will learn whatever the truth is, and maybe she will learn to accept it and forgive him. But like, yeah, I mean, the omission of this story before they got engaged with someone who like they have a lot of conversations about kids is a huge fuck up on his part. And
Yeah.
Ashley has the right to feel a certain way about it. We just don't know yet how she fully is going to feel about it.
Well, and
Right.
then online to answer the rest of your question, like we have someone who has pictures of him with kids saying that they were supporting him through the process, but he was with them kind of being a fatherly-ish role before, and then he kind of disappeared once the process started.
It
So
seems
there's,
like
like,
there's a lot
discrepancies.
of confusion around this whole situation.
Maybe we'll learn more.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
we'll learn
hopefully, yeah.
That part wraps up. We'll get into episode 11 on Tuesday.
And then finale on Wednesday next week.
Exciting.
So we'll talk episode 11 on Tuesday. We'll talk the finale, and then we have a reunion coming up at some point.
Those are the best.
Excited for that. All right, RHONY.
Was Uba a mouthpiece for Sai, or was Bryn the villain? That's my question.
I might be off base here, but I kind of feel like the whole mouthpiece for Sai's situation is kind of an annoying take because I'm like, I think Uba's confronting the issue about how everybody's misconstruing what people are saying and twisting their words, and she's just using Sai as the example because it's happened 3 times on this trip already. But like everyone's making it out like Uba's overreacting or whatever, and I'm like, no, she's just saying stop twisting people's words. That's why nobody can be honest about how they feel.
She is speaking for Sai, though. So, like, when it came to later, she was like, well, Sai talked to me after you guys made up and said that she's still mad at you.
I did appreciate Bryn's response of like, fight with me with something smarter. Like when people are just like, F you and F this and you're a bitch and you're that and you're that. And she's like, no, like give me an actual insult. Like say something smarter to me. And then Uba being like, shut the F up.
Pigeon.
Is definitely like, shut the F up is a strong.
It is strong. I thought about that too, because I kind of saw both sides. Like I get what Bryn was saying, but then it was like, is she talking about being clever or is she talking about being more kind of passive aggressive and,
She's
almost
talking about being clever, I think.
Well, that's kind
Passive
of
aggressive.
But that's kind of the same thing. It can be the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm a direct person. I appreciate a directness. I don't cut through the fat, and maybe her language, could be off-putting to some, but like I don't need a coded message as to why I'm mad at you or someone's mad at me. Just cut through the fat
Say it straight up.
and be direct.
So
And
you disagree with Bryn there.
I think I'm more.
Versus nice shoes.
I'm
Yeah.
Team Uba here.
Because Uba's not
Show the
trying to
emotions.
be dramatic. Like she's just like, this is how I feel and this is what I'm gonna like. I want you to shut up, so I'm gonna tell you to shut
And
up.
we have seen Bryn twist words.
Even in this
Over and
episode,
over and over
Bryn
again.
admits to like sometimes, what was
I like to stir the pot.
or,
Well, what did Aaron say? Were you twisted or are you the twister?
And she's like, sometimes both.
Both,
Like,
yeah.
Bryn admits that she enjoys the drama. She plays into the drama. She starts the drama. She keeps the drama going. And Uba doesn't. She's just more like, I don't know. I don't have time for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, give me the facts. I love how she calls them pigeons.
Pigeons with no address.
You just know Uba's right.
Yeah, I think Uba's right. I am Team Uba in this situation.
And Bryn's more like, maybe you're right. Or, it's
I will
like-
say, the conversation is done when you get to the point where it's like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah." Like people are just making noises, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, wrap the conversation
Annoying.
up.
I really hated that.
I hated it too. I was like, can we just someone just say stop?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Talk about coming up with something clever. Like you're literally just making sounds so
Sounds.
that she'll stop talking.
And they
And
were
you know-
both doing it back. I was like, oh my god.
you lost when you start
Yes.
doing that.
That's exactly. You have nothing to say but make sounds
Yeah.
and mock them.
Yeah, she's sitting here being like, Uba should come up with something clever, like, and then she's literally just like
And then
yelling.
Then you have sigh out of nowhere. Pineapple.
Nothingness.
Okay, I'll be done. I'm done.
Safe word.
Safe
What?
word. Well,
That's
it worked.
And
did
Sai
work.
was not my favorite last season because she was so reactive over nothing. But I will say that I do feel like Sai is working on herself and is like reacting to things where she needs to defend herself and is dropping things. But she's still allowed to have feelings about it.
Mhm.
And I would say, like, I would be annoyed too if I just like walked into a house and it's like somebody's telling me that I told them that they can't ride with me. Now somebody's telling me that I said this. And I'm just like, where's the proof? And she's pulling out the text messages being like, where did I say that?
She was also forced to hug Bryn, which I was like, that's a little uncomfy.
Like, what are we, 10 years old? Like, okay, now you're going
And
to
she
hug and be best
clearly isn't
friends?
over it. She's still mad.
Exactly, because she doesn't feel like her feelings are being heard.
Do you feel like the rest of the women hate Rebecca? Because I feel like they.
No, I think Rebecca's just the goofy one.
You think?
I think she's.
I think they're
she's-
laughing at her, not
They
with
are.
her.
Well, okay. What did she like? This episode, it was the whole virginity
Well,
thing.
yeah,
Still
the
has the bed.
Do you think it's
and then the diva cup squeeze it out.
Oh my
murder
God.
scene.
but do you think her parents' parenting style is progressive or crazy?
Progressive is a right or wrong. I think that's subjective, but progressive, right?
Well, yeah, I guess, but certainly progressive, I
Yeah.
guess maybe.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
progressive or crazy?
I mean, it worked for Rebecca.
You
and
guys would
like
have to
at the
say
end
it,
of the
yeah.
day, that's all that really matters. She's not saying do this with your kids or do
she's
that
not.
with.
But I'm saying, what do you?
I'm not a parent, so I guess I'm not the right perspective.
The idea of negotiating with your kid at 16 seems.
Why are we negotiating? Yeah, that's.
But I
a
think
good
they're
point.
going to do what they want to do regardless. So I think for you to be like, hey, like, let me give you,
That's a good point.
let's like work, let me give you an option. Let's work something here
because
because
they're going to do it.
they're
Yeah.
going to do it.
So
They're
be
going to go
safe.
behind your back and they're going to lie about it, or they're going to be upfront and honest, and you give them another thing to work towards. And like, okay,
Yeah, but we should probably have this conversation in private. But with River, I just feel like you're right about all those things. And I don't know. I hope as parents we teach her all the morals and values that we want her to have. But you're right. She's going to get to a certain age and she's going to start making decisions for herself. And that might happen before she's legally an adult. And we might not be able to a certain degree to we're going to want to give our daughter independence, and what she does with that independence, who knows, right? But I would still rather sit River down and have the type of relationship with her where we just say, like, listen, this is what we hope you do. We don't know what you're going to do. We acknowledge as parents that, it's up to you. I want us to say to River, you're going to make your choice. And we're not going to know as parents. But if you do make this choice, here are the consequences. Here's what might happen.
Yeah.
And while we might be disappointed, be honest with us, because if we need to get you on, protection or make sure you're doing things safely, I'd rather have our daughter feel safe enough to come with that information.
Yeah.
Rather than
agree.
feel like, all right, well, we can't control you. So if you promise not to do drugs, we'll get you on birth control. It's like, to that point, you can't guarantee she's not doing drugs. And just the idea, I don't want to set the standard with our kids that we're going to negotiate with them. You know what I'm saying? I know we can't control that they listen to us, but I would rather try to have an open and honest communication with our kids rather than feel like we are. When you negotiate with someone, you're suggesting that they're an equal power dynamic.
Entitlement.
Until River's 18 or any of our kids are 18, we're still the parents, you know?
I'm sure Rebecca's parents said the conversation the way that you guys are wording it, but then Rebecca was just like, well, it was actually a trade-off.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe. Or maybe not. Or maybe
But maybe it was.
Maybe it was exactly how it was.
But also, a Diva cup doesn't just squeeze out when you sneeze, right?
What's a Diva cup?
I've never used one.
Alternative to like a
used one.
tampon. Well, I'm not. I shouldn't be.
It's a cup that you stick up there.
It's
Maybe
a
not speak
silicone
for-
cup that you can bend and it's malleable and it's safer than all the chemicals that are in
Oh, I see.
tampons. And you
Reusable.
basically,
It's like a
you're-
woman's condom almost?
It
No, no, no.
collects.
Not at all.
It collects the blood inside, and then
Instead
you
of a
take
and
it
then you
out.
tampon.
pull it out and you pour the blood into the toilet and you can put it back in or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Oh,
it's
this is
just
so you
for your
use-
period.
Oh, for your period. Oh.
yeah.
But it doesn't just pop out when you sneeze.
I mean,
right?
I believe that happened. If she said it happened,
Yeah, I
like
don't-
sounds like a fucking
That thing
nightmare.
isn't
I've
lodged
never
in there?
used it, but I guess maybe she didn't like go all the way up. Who knows what her
She
situation
could have also
was?
had
but
a
like,
couple kids, and
Have you ever farted when you
things
sneezed?
change.
But I'm not. Well, no, just not.
Different hole, but same premise. Things come
believe
out
it.
when you apply pressure
Yes,
to your
that's true.
body.
Listen, I had a baby, and now every time I sneeze, I pee in my pants. So I believe it.
Also, I do know some people wash their Diva cup in the dishwashers. I've heard of this, and I'm like, to me that
No,
doesn't
they do,
sound
for
sanitary.
sure.
clean, listen, you got clean is clean.
The dishwasher?
Oh,
But clean is clean.
clean is clean. Dirty is dirty and
With
clean
your
is
dishes
clean.
in there?
Along with the turkey meatballs you had the night before, I guess. I don't know. That is crazy. But I felt like at that table when she's talking about her life and the bed and
You
the
thought they were
virginity,
laughing at her.
I felt they were like,
Okay.
yeah, they were laughing
I
at
kind
her.
of feel like they're sacrificial lamb kind of situation.
That's
I
what
was
I
like,
thought.
But
we're
is-
in the helicopter.
I thought she was
being
down with
like,
the bit.
Let's call out your Scientology, knowing it's an uncomfortable,
Oh,
probably
yeah.
delicate conversation.
And then it felt like she wanted her to do that again at the table. She's like, okay, now your turn. Like, why don't we? And she's like, okay, I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
I lived in Florida.
First
Everyone's
she goes, what do you want to know? And then realizes what she asked and goes, well, okay, so I was born.
That's the thing. She was
Is-
deflecting, so
Yeah.
I think she like submitted that information to be like, let's not go there.
Let's not
Did-
ask Bryn what she wants to know about
Well,
me.
also, like, do they all really not like her, or is this
I think they like
classic,
her.
or is this classic housewife hazing for the newbie?
I don't think it's hazing
No.
because she was giving that information. So it's kind of like Monica when Monica was like, "Oh, by the way, guys, I cheated on my husband with."
Yeah, but
sleeping."
like, you know, things are edited. You know, for all we know, that like this was a very brief part of the whole conversation. You know, they could have edited it where it sounded
Like
the
she
way
came
it
out
did.
with it, yeah,
You know, it's like, and I guess I'm wondering if Bravo in general and the Housewives. It seems like when you're new to the show, you have to like prove yourself and earn your like respect amongst other housewives or even the show or its audience. And
Yeah.
that's what it almost feels
I
like.
think
with
she's trying to
Rebecca.
be like a Mary Cosby, where she like is known for saying crazy, like goofy things. That's what I think it is.
I was gonna say I don't think it's hazing as much as it's like she's the new person coming in and like trying to figure out where she fits, but like there are characters that are ready to pick it apart. You've got like the
Yeah.
Bryns and the people that will ask these questions, but I don't think it's like a collective. And also I will say the women of New York, they're catty in like a very funny way. They're what is it, ITMs?
Confessionals.
Like I'm like the way that they talk about each other and everything, where I'm like with friends like these who needs enemies. So I'm kind of like even just the way that they talk about each other, it kind of comes off where I'd be like, for me, that would hurt my feelings. I couldn't hang in a group of women like this. But they all kind of hold their own. You know what I'm saying? Like where I'm like, they all are catty. They all kind of have their own little side comments, but like I don't think they're trying to take one person down, like Orange County, for example.
Who's your favorite housewife of the franchise?
New York,
No, just
all
in
of them.
general.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
She's the one that got me into the Housewives.
Do you have a favorite?
It's too hard. You'd have to go by.
I have a lot of favorites too, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Rihanna said Jenna Lyons is her favorite housewife.
Jenna Lyons would be one of my favorite housewives. Yeah.
And this is not a slight to Jenna Lyons because I she's clearly successful. Her
Mhm.
class is obvious. Like, you know, she seems like, you know, I've said before, like Jenna Lyons seems like what Housewives was always meant to be.
Mhm.
You know, where someone who has this independent success outside of the show. They're not most famous for being a housewife.
Yeah.
That being said, what makes her, this is a genuine question, like what makes her such a great housewife? Because she's like not very dramatic. She seems to always kind of be like almost the calming influence. She's not exactly like the most entertaining TV. She's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely want to be friends with Jenna Lyons for sure. Like, of all the people, like, she would be on my top 5 list of like housewives I wish I'd be friends with. But in terms of housewives I like watching on my TV screen, I wouldn't rank her in my top 5.
I have 2 takes, and then Sierra, you can like say what you think about Jenna. But I think one of it is New York has a big like queer lesbian audience. So I think throwing Jenna into that was like, this is your demographic. And they embraced her right away. And then she became like Jenna Lyons on top of already being Jenna Lyons.
Gotcha.
And then 2, I think it's because like she doesn't care about the other women. She doesn't care what she says. So she's over here calling them cackling hags. Like she's like saying you look like a Christmas tree when you have lingerie on. So she's saying like you can't wear different brands. So she's kind of just saying like crazy things and not caring about what they think about her because she knows that she's Jenna Lyons.
She was iconic before Real
Yeah.
Housewives. She is iconic being on Real Housewives.
I guess it just depends on how you answer the question of
Yeah.
who's your favorite housewife.
Exactly.
And
Because
what
like
you look for.
I would want to be Jenna Lyons if I were a housewife.
There you go.
Unproblematic.
But I would want to watch
Mary
Mary. Yes,
There you go.
Mary Crosby
or Denise Richards,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or I mean, even Lisa, like, you know, hell of a television person.
Yeah.
You know, she's every episode you have a strong opinion about Lisa Barlow.
And Rena.
And with Jenna, it's always like, oh, it's Jenna Lyons. It's good to see her. You know, like her outfit.
What
You
I
know?
think Jenna knows her clout, and that's why she was able to like do that contract of like you can't touch my family.
Oh, for sure.
So
Again,
it's like
I do love Lisa Barlow. As
Me
a
too. I
housewife.
love her
She's
too.
yeah,
as a housewife,
she's great.
sure.
like
you
I've
know.
said, she's one of the nicest
But I-
like housewives I've met in person.
I wouldn't want to be Lisa's friend.
in the show.
But from what I know of the TV character,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, Jenna Lyons seems like cool, sophisticated, classy, you know, roaming in very elite circles. And Lisa comes across as someone who wants to be Jenna Lyons.
No, I don't know about that. I feel like Lisa
Just a-
just plays dirty. I feel like, and I don't want to be friends with anyone who like goes fucking low and plays
Yeah,
dirty.
I agree with
And like,
that.
it feels like Jenna Lyons is just smarter. I think with like her,
She doesn't really play dirty as much.
yeah, she's just not as like, oh, like let me bring up your daughter and let
Yeah.
me, you know, we're like
I do
great TV.
Yeah,
but
I do see what you're saying too, Nick. Where it's like, I mean, Lisa outside of the show wasn't really known as Lisa Barlow until she became a housewife.
Yeah.
Whereas Jenna was Jenna before a housewife.
But if I had to, like, if I were casting for a housewife show, I probably would pick Lisa over Jenna.
yeah,
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 the drama.
that's valid. Golden.
Golden.
Golden Bachelor.
Okay.
What did-
well,
Question:
ahead.
What did you think when we saw the cold open?
Remind me what it was.
It was
Okay,
so
so the
fast.
cold
it was so
open-
confusing.
I'm over the cold
Yeah,
open.
her
All
pulling
right.
Mark.
And
it
then
was,
done. I
yeah,
was like, wait,
don't-
hold on. No crying yet. No like one sound bite.
It was
I
weird.
Like,
It felt like honestly like they just edited it, like
Threw it in
didn't
there.
cut that part out.
yeah.
Like it felt like a misedit. And I also felt like the bowling group date was so boring. It
Mhm.
was like we couldn't do anything. We couldn't have any like a musical act or fireworks or nothing. It was just like a true bowling game with an empty bowling alley.
Unfortunately, I think we're getting to the part of the season where it's Golden. It's the Golden franchise. I don't think anyone's really that interested in the drama. And they tried to give us a little drama with Guy
I was gonna say yeah.
talking about Chalk, but that's the most that they were going to do, and it wasn't that dramatic. And I think we're kind of in this weird spot. We all know it's Chalk. You know, they're clearly in love, and rightfully so. Chalk obviously is just like, you know, this is my girl.
Him
kind
being
of-
like, I'm the luckiest guy.
yeah.
It's like, all right, you know you win.
Yeah.
Now they're still trying to go through their Bachelor playbook and their very kind of formulaic episodes, and I think they're kind of stuck in kind of no man's land right before
Mhm.
hometown.
The plateau.
To try to like, you know,
Yeah.
Joan's got to have a one-on, you know, she sent her 2 one-on-ones home this
Isn't that
episode.
crazy? Is that normal?
Yeah.
Not normal. I think it might be the first time that's happened on a week before hometown.
Even one of them said Mark has it. He's gonna get the rose. Nope. Didn't get the rose.
I thought it was interesting he didn't get the rose though.
But honestly, for me, the cold open spoiled it.
kind
But
of.
she said in the beginning when she met with Trista again,
Like, why?
they love
They
bringing
love-
Trista back.
Oh my God. Why,
Gary?
She's
Trista,
ready.
like,
I feel like she also wasn't Trista also on who was our last
Jen.
Bachelorette? Jen season,
Yeah,
right?
no, I think
Australian,
she's-
the
I
strip
think they're
show.
just kind of bringing her.
She said like I'm not giving anyone roses until rose ceremony. Like that
Yeah.
was a valid just being like I don't know.
That's a producer choice, to be honest.
You don't feel like that was a Joan choice?
No, I think knowing how those weeks work, they had decided they're not going to give anyone roses to the end of the rose ceremony, and then they told Joan that, and then she delivered that to. I could be wrong, but
I mean, I'm glad
sure
she
not.
sent Mark home the way she did. It was tasteful. It was classy. It was like, I'm not going to make you, you know, like it was heartbreaking that, of course, it was right after he was like, I felt like I just got permission from my wife
Right.
to like do this. And then
But it makes sense. And it also tells you that Joan really might find love here. Because I think she is further along in her journey. And I think she is, clearly having feelings for Chalk. However beautiful this moment was for Mark, it sounded like he's almost like finally open and realized it's okay to start opening up his heart to the possibility of falling in love with someone. And Joan's like, I'm in love. I'm already in love with someone, you know? And so it felt probably a little weird. And then she does have the pressure of knowing that if she takes Mark to hometowns, Joey's there, Kelsey's
Right.
there.
That's what
It's
I thought
not
too.
the same type of hometown as with everyone else. It makes it more of a big deal. And maybe she like doesn't want to have,
The
you know,
dynamics.
it becomes less of Joan's journey, honestly.
Yeah, and more.
And more like, you know, the Joey and Kelsey and Mark show.
Empire of it all, yeah.
You know, so that kind of makes sense that way. And it's still, and I think Mark's still very got his like, in case we want to make him the Bachelor, he
Oh,
got his
true.
moment.
I honestly don't think they will. I think
He's
he's,
too
too
young.
young. Yeah.
I agree.
He's
Yeah.
like 58. Like
Right, like isn't the minimum age 60?
when they were like discussing the idea of Golden Bachelor, and I was like,
This
my
was years
mom, my
ago.
mom.
This was
They were
like before the
she's,
pandemic.
They were like, she is way too young. We want like, I mean, and they said it in their little senior citizens. Like,
I think when they originally thought of this concept of the show, they were thinking like 80s,
Older, yeah.
80s, like senior home living, assistant
I
living.
do feel like this season is younger than last season.
Maybe, yeah, but I think they're still working within the like 60s, early 70s.
Same
you know?
bracket. Yeah.
but I just feel like if they go with Mark, then they'll be casting like 40-year-old women.
Yeah.
And then
A
like,
lot of 50-year-olds.
sure, 50s, 40s. I feel like it's just kind of falling away from what they like intended the show to be.
I guess it depends on how they do it, you know?
'Cause they
Because I
can-
thought it'd be kind of cool to like get a different decade, you know? Like we've seen the 60s, early 70s. What would a Bachelor season of primarily 50-year-olds look like? Slightly
Real
different.
Housewives of.
Yeah, I mean,
I have an idea though. Do that, but cast a couple like 20-year-olds in the mix. So it's like if they want to be a cougar, if they want to be like the older man, they can do it. And like we start the drama because we're like, I love you. And the men are like,
I mean,
what do you know about love?
I love it, but to Nally's point, they have to make a decision because we don't want to lose the nostalgia
Yes, okay,
and
fine.
the healthiness and just the emotions of the Golden franchise
Yeah.
and those stories and not having the drama. So you can't do both. You can't bring in your ringers and your
Okay.
you know even your younger 40 somethings
Yeah.
you know, to cause drama and still have these really emotional moments. Like we're not going to appreciate Charles the way we got to appreciate Charles if we're hyper fixated on like, imagine if Brittany from Salt Lake City was casted in term like on Mark's season of The Bachelor.
Storylines.
Sure. I mean, hell of a television
Yeah.
show.
But we don't have a
It's a
Charles.
very different show,
Yeah.
you know? And I think they have to decide which show they want. I think that's
Yeah,
the
valid.
challenge with Mark.
I didn't catch that maybe. I mean, this is dumb that I didn't catch it that he might be the next Golden Bachelor because she literally is like, this is your journey. Like I had the epiphany that like you didn't see me in your journey.
Mhm.
Without question, they are considering Mark.
They have to.
and they're doing this scene was all about
A setup.
It was a setup.
This is the flashback.
They've done plenty of setups, and those people didn't end up becoming leads. They're always giving themselves options.
So then who are our potentials? It's Mark. Charles L.
Charles for sure, fan favorite.
And then whoever else might get cut.
That's a thing.
Who else
It's
even
like-
is there? Is
Like, who
there
else is left?
Jordan?
Unless if Chalk gets sent home.
I just don't see Jordan.
I don't see
being-
Jordan
I'm s-
either. He's quiet. He's too
he?
quiet.
I was so
got
confused
sent home.
about the rose ceremony this go around because I really don't feel like I saw a lot of the two guys that got to stay and the two guys that she sent home. I feel like we've been following them this entire time, and I was like, Jordan? Didn't
Yeah.
even, I
And
call him
Guy?
I've
Yeah.
always seen the
Oh,
Jordan though. I've
you-
seen the Jordan of it all.
You know who could be a good next Golden Bachelor is Jonathan.
Oh yeah, Jonathan would be a good one.
Jonathan. Really?
I think so. He's sweet. He has like the spiritual side of the story of knowing, like seeing signs from the universe. He has the family.
I don't know if they want their, and I say this as a tattooed man, I don't know if they want their second Golden Bachelor to be heavily tattooed.
I feel like this is the first person
Hmm.
we've seen with tattoos
Spice it
on
up.
any of this.
No,
I mean, even on the,
season.
I mean, you know, now tattoos are way more common and prevalent, and so
Jonathan
you've
had
seen
tattoos.
you've seen a lot more. You know, I'm just talking regular Bachelor franchise, but they would never have casted a Bachelor with tattoos back in the day.
no,
Right,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, it is still like ABC, you know, type of thing.
But like
Yeah.
Jonathan had tattoos, so like normal franchise, they're changing.
Sure, but there's a difference between your lead and being one of 25.
That is valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Jen not have a tattoo?
No. I think that we
Guess
need
we
to
don't know.
teach Justin how to play Never Have I Ever.
I know how to play it. I think they didn't understand how they were playing it.
I think they played it the right way.
So they played it, and Leia is convinced that Mark has never woken up in the middle of the night to feed a baby.
That's what he
Only
said.
because that's what he said.
But he put his finger down. He put his finger down too during Never Have
No,
Ever.
he
You're not
already
voting
had
yourself
his
out.
finger
hand.
down. He
Well,
had
that's
his
what I'm
finger
saying.
down from the previous round.
But you're not saying that, like, you're not voting yourself out. So like he did something that he.
No. Okay, so the way it works is Joan says, "Never have I ever seen the Northern Lights."
Yes.
He put his finger down because he's seen the Northern Lights, so he already had a finger down from that. And then
Valid,
he
yes.
says, "Never have I ever woken up in the middle of the night to feed a baby."
And you said he put his finger down, right?
no, he didn't. Put
Oh,
his
then
finger
what are we
down.
arguing?
What are y'all
I don't
arguing?
know.
Justin wasn't sure if sometimes when you say the never have I ever, if you definitely haven't.
No,
done
I
that
knew
thing.
it. Leia was trying to say that he never woke up in the middle of the night, and I
That is
said, "There's
true.
no way." What is she saying right now?
You're saying the same
Justin,
thing.
Y'all are saying the same thing.
He's
in different
still,
fonts.
Mark is still saying.
No, but I think he has woken up in the middle of the night to feed a
No,
baby.
but he's literally
but he's
saying, he
saying
didn't.
on TV that he hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. So I think he didn't understand what he was doing.
No, I think you don't understand.
What do you think's more likely? That he didn't understand the rules of a simple game, or that a man 25 years ago didn't wake up to feed his young baby?
I'm saying he
because-
did wake up though.
No, I know that's what you're saying.
But you guys are saying that he put his hand down because he didn't wake up.
No.
I'm not. I've moved on from like him playing the game, and I'm now discussing whether we think Mark actually did or didn't wake up.
He did wake up.
No,
I-
he didn't.
I don't think he did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm on the other side. I think he did wake up.
I know. I know.
Can we phone
Dude.
him? Just ask directly.
But
Wait,
I
but
think
question-
25. I think 20 some years ago was pretty commonplace for the dad.
Where's Kelsey?
A weird thing to
play-
say, though, in my opinion. Like, you have a million never have I ever things that you could say.
I think he was nervous and he
You
was
picked
like,
that.
I know you're a mother, you have children, you definitely were. I mean, I don't know if he.
then
I
he
think
voted
probably
himself
was
out.
like,
I don't think he was
hello.
being that self-conscious. Yeah, it was just like, hey, that's.
They also,
I think he recognized kind of how.
Like
how,
he could have been like, never have I ever carried a baby. It's like equally the same
Never
thing.
have I ever
Yes.
birthed a baby.
Sure.
Would
Yeah.
have been a better
All the
one.
That would have
all
been a
of the
better one.
above.
I agree.
All
Yeah,
of
they
the
also
above.
didn't have all of the cute little trinkets they have now to like perfectly heat up the bottle and all
The
of these things that
Bjorn,
make it
yeah.
easier to like for a man
What
to
is
do
the
a feeding.
Bjorn?
The baby Bjorn.
No.
That's how you carry your, like, the
Yeah,
carry.
Didn't you know this was? I thought we talked about
Or
that.
like a bouncer seat.
You like hold them in the baby Bjorn.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not how you warm up a bottle.
Oh, I was saying just a different trinket.
He also didn't say he didn't get up to like soothe his baby. He just said he didn't feed his baby, and maybe his wife breastfed. And you know,
That's
if
true.
your
He didn't
wife's
specify the
breastfeeding,
time.
you're just there's kind of
Nothing for you to do.
Question,
You're
though,
there
because
like
this
what? To be a cheerleader?
this is a debate that I'm seeing is that people are saying, should the man wake up if the woman is breastfeeding, right? Should the man have to wake up? And
Yes.
some people say yes, and some people say
Should?
no. Yes, should.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like if you're pumping and you have milk that where it makes it easy for either person to feed them, then
Nick,
now it's,
I would breastfeed. Nick would burper, and he would also take the milk that I pumped and put in the fridge.
Yeah,
So
I
he
did
was-
because
he
I'm
was-
awesome. But I feel like there's a lot of guys from like 25 years ago where it was pretty commonplace. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to overreact
I don't think
if
so either.
Mark's truth is actually, in fact, true.
No, agreed. I think it's weird that I just think it was a weird thing to bring up. I'm just speaking like now modern day.
Yeah, for modern day.
There are
but
a lot- there's debate.
20 some years ago, I don't think it's that crazy for Mark to have never actually woken up to do that. And I don't think
I mean,
that
your
says
dad
any-
didn't. I remember your mom saying like, oh, I wish I would have woken him up like you woke
Yeah,
Nick up.
I just don't
Wow.
think back in the day it was.
I don't wake Danny up.
That's crazy.
I just because I'm breastfeeding, so I'm just like whatever. I'll just
Well, question.
change the diaper and
That's
go back
crazy.
to sleep.
Nick would say this. Did Danny say it where it's like we're pregnant, we gave birth?
No, he doesn't do that.
Okay, well, so I was saying if we're saying we, then we are feeding the baby in the middle.
I
of the
also
night. But,
didn't say
like,
we, by the way. I was like, I am having this
So-
baby.
Yeah, so do I
you
get to
know?
say we? 'Cause my ass was up.
Yeah, it was up. You got to pull your part too. I'm not the only one.
I was an expert.
You
Yeah.
were. You were
An
great.
expert swaddler.
He was an
Everything.
expert swaddler. He really took pride in his swaddling.
Can Danny swaddle?
We have the Velcro things. Neither of us can swaddle.
I gave Leia a swaddle though. It looks like a bear.
Yeah, it's really
So when you
cute.
put the baby in it, it
But
looks
she
like a little
clearly
bear.
doesn't use it.
No,
I
I
saw a
do. I
picture.
sent him. I
Oh,
sent him a picture.
She said he was big, and I was like, oh no, this is like 3 to 6 months. I was like, is that even big enough?
All right. Well, I think it is time to get to the man of the hour, Mr. Charles himself.
Woo.
Be prepared to smile. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you? Where are you calling from?
Doing great. I'm calling from Suzhou in China.
Wow, very cool. Are you
Far away.
Far away? Are you on vacation there? Are you visiting family? Both?
Yes, I'm on vacation visiting families and friends over here. And it's a gorgeous place.
Wonderful, wonderful. I apologize, I didn't know this. Is that where you're from, where you're visiting, or are you just visiting family that is located where you're at?
Yeah, this is my original family. I was born here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Charles, we've enjoyed watching you on this season so much. You've been an absolute joy. Are you aware of how beloved that you are in Bachelor Nation?
Maybe not another degree as you experience. I'm away from the States, as you know. I do watch most of the episodes.
Okay, wonderful. What has it been like for you, this whole experience?
Wow, such a unique experience. And when I started applying the program, I even didn't expect I would be accepted. But as the application process started, and I love the producers, the interviewers, and I went through. And at the end, they called me, Charles. You're in the program. So such a gorgeous experience.
Wonderful. Was it your daughter who encouraged you to sign up, or was it someone else, or were you already a fan?
You're correct. Actually, originally started by my daughter, who initiated. And she said, Dad, here's the program, so on and so forth. And I said, well, let me give it a shot. I don't know if I'll be in the program, but surprise and a surprise.
That's great. Charles, I think what people loved, they loved a lot of things about you, but what we really, I think, appreciated the most was just, not only just you, but all your friends, just the wisdom that you shared, throughout your experience in terms of just life and things like that. We'd just love to know a little bit about you. Obviously, you said you were born in China. When did you make it over to the States? And yeah, I'm curious, when did that happen?
I guess, I went to the States before you were born. Just kidding. Almost, roughly about 36 years ago, when I was about, 26, 28.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to the States as a graduate student.
Very cool. And then is that where you found your wife?
Oh, no. I found my wife in China.
Oh, wonderful.
And we got married in China, yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. What did you do for work?
Oh, I was in pharmaceutical research business.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we do a lot of research and try to find new medications to help the people. That's what I did.
Well, that's wonderful. Did you enjoy that work?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun. Of course, it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
But when you like what you do, you'll be fine.
What did this experience teach you, Charles, about yourself?
You have to have a warm heart to love people, to care about people. And when you do that, you'll be respected, and people in return, will love you. This is basically my kind of philosophy. Be yourself, be nice to other people, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah. You were so open about the passing of your wife and obviously the challenges that you faced. A lot of your peers and friends, even Joan, talked about, losing a loved one. What's something that you can share that, that has helped you with this healing process that, for anyone listening, if they haven't experienced the loss of a loved one, maybe a parent, a partner, God be it a child, what is some advice that you could offer to help those people who are grieving, feel a little bit better and heal a little bit faster?
Yes. It came so quick, when I lost my wife, and probably through the program you heard some of my, experience or details. It was very hard, and sometimes extremely hard. And this what happened almost 6 years ago, and it was not easy. But my daughters, noticed, and my friends realized, Charles, you cannot go on like this. They want to see myself change, from the suffering, rather than in the suffering itself. So this program came in, and on the show, Joan is a charming, lovely, intelligent lady, Everybody likes her. And then also we have a lot of, nice people in the program. And then we talk to each other, we cared about each other, and we began to open up ourselves, and we realize, it's okay to be in sad mood. It's okay, to miss the loved one you lost. But we've got to do something. We have to open up ourselves and reach out, to other people who can also help you. So this is what I went through, and on the date groups, one-on-one interviews, even in the morning talks, we talk while we walk. So we began to really, really, probably you can see, I gradually changed myself. I feel better and better with more engagement with all the members in the mansion or around the mansion, to be exact.
It seems like you made a lot of friends. Who are you still in contact with today?
But because, I'm away,
Sure.
there are some technical difficulties. I do see some iMessages, from different friends, in this group. Like the other day when I was having an interview, Mark surprised me, on the video.
Yeah.
And that was very, very delightful. And like a guy or other people send me messages in the Instagram and some iMessage. Yeah. To a very limited in terms of, information. Once I returned back to the States, definitely the volume would dramatically increase.
We noticed, Charles, that you were teaching some of your friends some type of martial arts on the show. Do you know martial arts very well?
Yeah, this is a little bit an experience I had with myself, and because we were talking that day, due to the unique program, we have to be careful ourselves. So some idea pop up. I say, Charles, can you, teach us something? I said, well, definitely. I share my experience on the basic concepts to how to protect yourself. So we did it, and seems like they love it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be liable if they are in trouble one day.
All right. So this is all fun, but if they really want, to protect themselves, they need to seek out a professional. Right. So you didn't have like a black belt or anything?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah. Never too late.
Never too late. Yeah. There you go.
Right.
I don't think you guys filmed too long ago, and I know you didn't end up with Joan, but has this experience opened up the possibility that you might, look for love and start dating again?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I would say, several phases, if I could say, first, the phase one, I was, in deep sorrow. And phase two, kind of don't know what to do. This I'll call phase three. I'm involved with a lot of people there, in the mansion and around the mansion, and open up myself. Oh, yes. I've changed a lot. Definitely. I think it's time for me, look into that direction.
That's wonderful. I can't help but wonder, Charles, have you thought about what your lovely wife would think about you doing this show?
My wife is the only one I dated in the past.
Yeah.
And she's the only one I loved. And we both care each other. I want her to be happy, and she want me to be happy. So if she were, alive or seeing what I'm doing, she would say, Charles, move on. You've got to move on.
Yeah.
Like a journey. For some reason, she got off the train first. Don't be sad all the time. Go on with your new life. I'll be happy to see a new happy Charles again.
That's lovely. Charles, I'm a new dad. I have a young 8-month-old daughter.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, you have a lovely daughter. What advice can you offer me in terms of fatherhood or anything like that, or any of our listeners? What are some, your favorite moments of being a dad, and any advice you could offer, I'd really appreciate.
Oh, sure. As you know, you sound very, very intelligent and smart. My advice, you'd be amazed. When they are very young, they are very, very smart. They pick up things very quickly. My philosophy to teach my kids, always be nice to other people. That's the very first thing. Second, you've got to start reading as early as you can and as much as you can. The third is just, follow the flow and should be fine. When they experience a difficult time, just, tell them calm down. Things will be better and rather frustrated. And when they are so happy, tell them, keep going and you have more room to improve.
Wonderful. Is your daughter a fan of the Bachelor franchise? Has she been a fan for a while?
Yes, I think Sophia has watched this program for a while, so she knows much more than I do.
Wonderful. And she, how old is your daughter?
27.
27. Is she in a relationship, or could she end up on this show by chance?
That's, she sometimes keeps secrets from me.
Oh, okay. Well, the 27-year-olds will do that sometimes. Charles,
Right.
I feel like there's a big question I haven't asked yet that a lot of people would want me to ask. Would you consider being the Golden Bachelor if you were asked to do that?
Oh, it's a good question, also tough question. However, if the opportunity knocks on my door, I will consider.
Okay. All right. And like a strong consider, or a 1 out of 10, how strongly would you consider it? 10 being you're on the front door, ready to open up the limo door and greet the ladies. To 1, I'd consider it, but long shot.
Well, it sounds like you're testing my math IQ.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, how about around 7?
7. Okay.
Ooh.
Strong. All right.
We need to find this door. Go knock.
Well, anything I can do, Charles, to encourage you to sit, get that up to a 10, let me know. But I think
Okay, I'll let you know.
I think we'd all really enjoy a season of Charles as the Golden Bachelor.
Absolutely.
Sierra, Justin, you have any questions for her?
I mean, everything I keep thinking about is your optimism, which I think a lot of people were inspired by this season, and something about like your ability to joke when it's just like a darker period or just a period where it's more tough. And I was wondering, where did you get that kind of optimism of the joking style?
It's kind of built up through through the years or through your life, or sometimes related to your personality, I would
Mhm.
say. And I love readings, and I caught a lot of jokes here and there, and sometimes I make up some myself. So it's just gradually just build up and flow, pretty smoothly in a sense, if I may say, yeah.
Yeah, collecting. Can you give us a joke now?
Yes, I want to, but I'm not sure if it's appropriate.
We say a lot of inappropriate things, Charles. I promise you it will be okay for us.
If it's not, you edit it.
Okay,
If it's
all right,
okay,
all right.
you can air. Probably, on the program, the last night, I did not receive the rose.
Mhm.
Did you see that part
We saw
on
that.
the TV? Yeah.
Yes.
And when I approached Joan, we say goodbye, and Joan said a lot of nice things about me, and I said quite a few nice things about her. I tried to joke with her, but I hesitate. The joke would go like this. I would say, Joan, I wish you all the best, and there are still quite a few, intelligent men in this room who received the rose. But Joan, if things did not work out the way as you wish, Charles is still ready. We'll keep in touch.
Messy.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Messy Charles, yeah. Charles, random question, but I'm curious. What are some of your favorite movies or TV shows that you enjoy watching or that you've watched throughout the years?
Yeah, currently, I'm not a big fan for TV. Those who are in this field don't hate me, whatever.
That's
But
okay.
currently I watch some football from time to time, NBA, games.
Yeah.
But the most I watched is during the finals, both NBA and NFL. These are the kind of, programs I stick to. And also, there are some, funny, interesting parts or programs on the YouTube. Whenever I catch them or randomly catch up, I'll take a look.
Okay. Who's your favorite NFL team that you root for? Do you have one?
I used to be 49ers.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
But I'm from Philadelphia, and I should say Eagles should be okay too.
That's okay. Yeah, you can root for both, Charles. That's fine. You read a lot, you said. Do you have any book recommendations for us?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
I read all kinds of history books, poems, poetries, anything. But not on top of my head. As you know, I'm traveling,
Yeah.
and my mind is not set in that direction at this moment.
Understood.
I do have another question. So, Charles, there was a running joke throughout the season that you were the healthiest out of all the men. Do you think that was true, or were you guys hyping up that idea that you were the healthiest? Because I know you took the top bunk and then you bought the medicine.
I think probably that's true in a sense. Did you watch the kickball game?
We did. And you kicked the ball?
Yeah.
Those guys, they look very healthy and strong. But at the end of the game, and when I look around it, I envy those guys. But unfortunately, I feel, quite a few of them got hurt. Some hurt badly. And nothing happened to me. And even the next morning, I was still able to run fast. So
there you go.
Good recovery.
That indicates something.
Are you stretching or are you hydrating? What's the trick?
I go to the gym 4 times a week.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Hey.
And I don't stick to one program or 2 programs. Anything I grab, just exercise. So that really helped me. Yeah.
That's great. Charles, you've been such a delight. We'd love to keep talking with you, but we know that you are on vacation and enjoying family, so we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for taking the time and carving it out on your vacation. We really appreciate it. Very generous of you. We wish you nothing but the best. And if they ask you to be the Bachelor, Charles, you should say yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's too early for you guys, so I enjoyed my talking to you, and you guys have a wonderful time too.
Thank you, Charles. Take care.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye. Well, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check out all the other amazing episodes we've dropped this week, like our Ask Nick episode. That was a doozy. The wife who's on OnlyFans, who does OnlyFans with her husband, who's not sure if she should stay on OnlyFans.
And she's the breadwinner.
What?
I think some people, it's a
I
crazy
say do
story.
it.
It's a
Ask
crazy
Nick.
story.
Oh,
Some
I
people
see.
think our callers on Ask Nick are fake. They are not.
No.
They're 100% real. It's a crazy episode. Also, we have Gypsy Rose for Going Deeper that came out this week as well. Be sure to check that out, along with Tuesday's episode where we have Hannah from Love is Blind. So a lots to dive into if you haven't already. We will see you next week. We have a great week lined up for you once again. We got Joan, the Golden Bachelorette herself, for a great episode of Going Deeper, plus maybe someone from Love is Blind as well, along with some other great guests and conversations. Be sure to tune in. Tell your friends, subscribe, all those great things. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.